Boston really took it out of me. You know? Boston really takes it out of a man, takes you out of a man. What am I saying?
I mean, it could take you out of a man.
It could. It took me out of a city, out of a state, into a man. Wait, don't take that into context. Hey everybody, welcome to bonus content. I'm here. Nobshin's here. Scott's here. Our guest Max Roberts is here.
I'm here.
Also known as Cute Boy McGee.
I thought I had a nickname, a new nickname. What'd you call me last night?
I don't even remember.
Oh gosh, it was Sax, Max Sax.
Max Sax. That's right. Every time I think of you, Max, I think of the saxophone from Dolphin Shoals and Mario Kart 8. What did your wife think of the sax? I need her honest opinion.
Do you want me to?
What's the sax good?
Was the sax good for her?
Do you want me to call her in here?
Yes, I want to know Abby's official opinion on sax.
Okay, here. I'm gonna mute my mic so I can call her in here real quick,
I'll
and then
give
I'll
the listeners
back.
context.
All right.
Last night, Max DM'd me, letting me know that he was playing Mario Kart with his wife, and he's like, "Oh, you'll like this level. It has some pretty good sax." And then I think it was really just ultimately just like a sex pun, but I was really into it. And Dolphin Shoals does have some really good sax.
It's great, especially when you get past the eel. That's really when the sax comes in.
Yeah, like when you emerge from the water.
I'm gonna go see if she's here. She may have taken our dog out.
Do you not remember? It didn't leave such an impact on you that.
Oh, what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, I can. She would just deliver it better than I would.
Yeah. All right, that's fair.
All she said was that I talked over it. So when the sax would come in, I'd be like, "What do you think of the sax?"
She's like, "I can't fucking hear it."
She's like, "Shut up."
The marriage is over. It was ruined by a saxophone.
It wasn't good enough, apparently, or she couldn't hear it.
Man, Dolphin Shoals, that's the level that just makes me happy. I would say it is like a totally 7.5 Mario Kart level. It's not like the best, but it's all right. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's got some weaves. But that music is 10 out of 10.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Should I be recording now too?
No. This is
okay. All right. Because I know I did the test.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I needed to keep rolling.
Oh, you're good. Thank you for asking, though.
Because we could have missed great stuff there.
This is all getting archived for the YouTube video, and those YouTube kids, they get this one for free. This is our, as you put it, free DLC.
Got it.
There will be microtransactions later in the podcast.
Oh.
Hey, we got a new shirt out.
I didn't sign up for those.
Yeah. If you hit our $5 tier on Patreon, no. God, we shouldn't joke about that actually. How are you guys doing? Scott, Nobshin, I want to know how you guys are doing. You had the week off. I was off in Boston. Just getting fucked up. That's not even that true. Well, it's not completely untrue, but also not entirely true. What did you get up to, Scott? Did you do anything fun last weekend?
Nope.
God damn! Did you at least play some video games?
A little bit.
Okay. I'll consider that a W in the overall ranking of Scott versus the world.
Last weekend.
I know you don't remember things you do after you do them. I'm just
trying to make sure that last weekend was last weekend and not the weekend before.
The weekend before you had your whole mouth situation, right? No, that was 2 weeks ago.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay, so it's more washer and dryer stuff.
Okay. Did they flood the house again? I don't remember if that was
no.
Washer and dryer.
So last time I talked about it, we moved one washer and dryer just out of an apartment.
Yeah. Oh,
This week, I moved that washer into another apartment.
How is it moving like very heavy appliances?
They're not heavy.
Okay. Wow. Jeez, humble brag over here. My bad.
No. of the appliances, that's like
It's
it's
no
up there with the
refrigerator.
lightest. It's
Okay.
it's no refrigerator. It is no oven. It is no washing machine.
Got it.
It's with washers and dryers are fairly light for appliances.
Okay.
I would think so because they're essentially hollow in the center.
Yeah, you fill
Yeah.
them up with
They're
joy.
essentially hollow and they have a pretty small motor.
Okay.
They're pretty bare. They look big because that's just the
They
space
take-
you need for your
yeah.
clothes.
They take up a ton of space.
Yeah, and they make a lot of noise. And my dryer gets it it makes the whole room humid.
The whole room. What room is your dryer in?
Well, it's in a laundry room.
So do you hang out in the laundry room while
no,
you're?
but like sometimes
Yeah,
when
dude. You
when
turn that thing on, you open that door, you override the failsafe on it, you got yourself a little sauna in there.
You could. But if you open the door and shut off the failsafe, how do you keep the clothes inside so they dry? Do you put like a light screen there so the heat still comes out? Like
So this is what dryer sheets are actually for. No, it's not.
oh,
No one actually knows what dryer sheets are for. Everyone just uses them. Are y'all
they
with
help.
me?
They help keep pet hair off your clothes. That's why I use them.
Well, the dryer sheets take the place of softener.
Listen,
If you're using softener and dryer sheets at the same time, you're doing it wrong.
I do not use softener.
I would not be surprised if dryer sheets just ended up being bullshit chemicals that the government said was good for you. That's all I'm saying.
Like fluoride in the water.
Exactly. Except that's poison, right? That's what.
I don't know. All I know is it's in my
supposed to
water.
help with your teeth, but
But I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when my teeth fall out. What about you now, Shin? Did you get up to anything last weekend?
A few things. Most of my time, I just play video games. But like,
Oh man.
caught up with some of my friends. I haven't talked to in a while. Like, Mark has been starting to get really into streaming. So like, I've been sort of helping him doing that up. I'm getting it set up for him. He has it all up now. He's doing it frequently now, which I'm very, very proud of him for doing.
Yeah, I
And,
saw
like,
him stream as well. I only got to see a little bit of it, but that was cool.
Yeah, I'm just. He's going through a lot now, so like I'm glad he has something to focus on and keep him distracted. And like I caught up with Katie as well, and like actually hung out with her for a little bit at her grandparents for the first time in a while, and then like got her back on the Mass Effect train, so like she's back to doing that again. So that's been great. And then we went to see Tomb Raider afterwards, and that was fun.
Oh, cool. What did you think of Tomb Raider? I have not seen it yet, but I would like to.
It was worth the movie pass as far as seeing, but like it's kind of one of those things where it's like I think it says everything about that movie as far as like how I think about it. It's like I like that game's story. I like the game I like the story in the game better, and I didn't really care for the story in the game. So like, it's pretty much that. I was like, I like playing that better than like actually seeing it. But it was entertaining though. Don't get me wrong. It was entertaining and like it kept me attentive. But like, it was just like certain things where just like it didn't keep my full attention. So
I'd agree with that. Abby really liked it, but she didn't play the game. I thought it was one of those instances the game's story was better than the movie's story, kind of like a book.
yeah,
Kind of like Blood Rain. No,
It leaned away from the supernatural element of the game, and I don't like that.
yeah, everybody hates some of the supernatural stuff, but I enjoy that.
I think that's what kind of makes it charming, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark wouldn't be as cool if there weren't spooky ghosts that came out at the end and melted Nazis' faces.
Exactly.
and I thought Laura was super cool in the game, in the movie.
Oh yeah, she did great.
Yeah, I just think it could have like made her a little bit more charismatic. Like other than that, though, like I thought she was really cool.
Can I ask Nobshin a spoilery question for both, I guess, that original reboot and the movie?
Mm-hmm.
And if people, it's a very quick and simple question. If people don't want to hear it, they can skip like a minute ahead. It's fine. People watching live can mute their streams for a moment. Was there a moment at the end with two pistols?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I needed to hear. I gotta get off my ass and go see this movie.
I think it was in the trailer. that scene you're talking about.
Actually, it was.
It was.
I haven't seen it, so I've only seen the announcement trailer. So
Yeah, no. But there is that moment.
that's good. That's like one of the best moments in that first game, in my opinion. And then there's just none of it in the second game. It's like, well, all right. I guess it was only
Hey,
special the one
there's
time.
hope. There's hope for Shadow.
It's true.
Which
but
isn't that reveal soon? End of the month, right?
Yeah, sometime in April.
and to be fair, like when we say like there's a moment with it, I mean like it's after credits and it's not like something during a fight. So
God.
it's not the same thing as what you think of in the game.
Okay, that's a bummer, but it's a great moment in the game. As someone who is not a longtime Tomb Raider fan, I'm a Mayweather Tomb Raider fan. Is that what they say?
I don't know.
New to the fold Tomb Raider fan. That sounds like a bummer. I do want to. So we got a few folks watching live. Logan Moore being one of them. Who you might know, Max. You betrayed
He's
him
all right.
and destroyed all your podcasts. You burned all your podcasts together to the ground. I blame you exclusively for that.
It's like I'd
Really?
say
I
it's
thought it was my fault.
90. I think it's 95% my fault.
Okay. At least there's
So-
5% to go around.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. You could blame me.
Okay.
Lion's
it's not your
share.
fault, Scott. You're good.
Why not?
Scott,
I mean,
you'll
Scott,
be,
you're the other 4.5.
I'm cool with that.
Is Mario the other one? Other percent?
The other 0.5.
Yeah.
Mario Kart is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I played Destiny 2 with Mario once. That guy seems alright.
I played.
Not like the fictional video game character Mario, Mario Rivera, who used to host a podcast with Max.
Yes, I've played PUBG with him. Some
He
Mario
seems like a
Kart.
nice boy.
He is a nice boy.
To kind of get back on the rails, though, Logan wanted me to tell you about how him and I fell in love in Boston.
He did say that you guys hung out quite a bit.
We hung out a lot.
Yeah, you ate at PF Chang's.
All right, that was unintentional.
I
I had a reservation for a restaurant.
How does a reservation go out the window?
So here's what happened. We had a reservation in Boston Wednesday night, the night before PAX started. This is a tradition, you know, the pre-show Irrational Passions family dinner. Had some guests coming as well. Logan being one of them, and the 6 IP folks and whatnot. And so we had a reservation for the spot that we went last year, which a restaurant called Rock Bottom. They have very good macaroni and cheese with chicken in it. Called the classic mac and chicken. If you ever get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. And basically, I got a phone call and a voicemail that morning, the morning that I was going to be flying out and going to Boston, that our reservation was, saying like, hey, just so you know, there's going to be a private event right before your reservation. Basically, we're going to be closed for a couple hours, and we're going to reopen at 9:30 when your reservation is. And after we reopen, there's going to be a limited menu. And I was like, okay. I called them, double checked. They're like, yeah, it'll be a limited menu. Just a heads up. I'm like, okay, it shouldn't be an issue. Might not be as much comfortable seating, but as long as, you know, we can get some food, it'll be fine. We get there 9:30, and they're like, hey, so by limited menu, we meant we're not serving food.
Oh.
And we are only serving alcohol. And I'm like, I got a lot of hangry people here. In fact, I have 14 of them. So I was like panicking. I'll say this: finding a place very close within walking distance
For 14 people.
for 14
How
people.
the fuck do you go limited menu and then only sell alcohol?
That's what I'm saying.
What time? I'm curious. What time does the restaurant normally close?
They close at midnight normally.
Oh, so they just had this private event and we're like, we're
Yeah,
done.
afterwards. And my theory is that the private event was for Sony because we saw a bunch of them hanging out there last year. I haven't been able to prove it yet. I got to hit up my boys on the inside. So we walked down the street, like literally a block and a half away, to a PF Chang's, which was the only place that seemed reasonable, that was open until 10:30 or later. They were open until 11, I think. That could accommodate the amount of people that we had and was reasonable. So That is how we ended up at a PF Chang's.
I eat those PF Chain frozen meals all the time. Those meals for two.
I've had them a couple of times. They're very good.
I get they have little frozen rice packs you buy and little egg rolls, and you got a whole meal there.
I understand, like, when Greg showed up, Greg Miller, friend of the show, showed up to dinner later. He as soon as he walked in, he's like, the entire city of Boston, and you fucking sit down at PF Chang's. I'm like, listen, man, I was panicking. I needed something safe and comforting. So called up my old friend Chang.
Who doesn't love Chang?
Now I'll say this: we had 14 people walk in PF Chang's. They sat us almost right away, and they gave all of us separate checks. So I'm just saying, PF Chang's, excellent, top of the line service. If you are ever in Boston, PF Chang's, right dead center in the city, go there. It's excellent. That is why they're not paying me to say that. I'm just very impressed with how well they handled the situation.
This episode of Irrational Passions was brought to you by PF Chains.
Anything else you get up to, Namshin?
Nothing much really. I can't really think of anything right now. At least normal Marvel stuff every week. And
what are you guys up to now? Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, we just finished Doctor Strange.
What'd you think of it?
Me too.
I like Doctor Strange a lot.
Yeah.
It's more visually stimulating than it is good as a story, because he's kind of a dick, and he's a dick at the beginning, dick at the end.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed that movie. It was real fun.
Yeah. He does, I like Doctor Strange because he starts off as an Iron Man character. He doesn't go through the same transformation, I think, though. He goes through his own kind of transformation. I think he's in a different spot at the end of that movie. He's still kind of a dick, like you said, but he learns a lot. I like going on that trip with him is fun. And yeah, that is a movie that is just a fucking trip to watch. What I like the most about Doctor Strange is that it does not culminate in a big action scene. It culminates in a very clever kind of twist of fate. That is it's a really great payoff for what that movie is, which is trying to defy your expectations.
And also, because earlier in the movie, when he was arguing with whatever his partner's name is about outsmarting something instead of killing it, it also just lent that to his character instead of accepting that you just have to kill everyone to stop the bad guys.
Yeah.
It all works together.
I love my boy, Cumber Bunny. He's beautiful.
Couldn't tell you anyone's name in that movie except Dr. Stephen Strange, though.
Ancient One?
I don't know. Juan is pretty cool. I want to hang out with him.
All right, Juan. All right. But
no, what's the guy, the chubby dude that he hangs out with? Isn't his
Juan.
name
Juan.
Yeah, it's fun.
Dude, Juan's in the Infinity War posters.
Yeah, dude. I want to hang out with that guy. He just seems like he knows how to fucking get down.
Dude listens to Beyonce.
Yeah, he does. He gets down.
He knows how to.
He knows what's up with all the single ladies.
He'd put a rein on it.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't fuck around. I went to
He's
Boston.
a survivor.
Any more? I got nothing.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll take that one. I went to Boston. I hung out with Logan Moore. So just to kind of continue with Logan and I think have a deep and intimate connection. And I had never really gotten the chance to actually hang out with him. We had met for about 3 minutes at PlayStation Experience, which was it was December, so it was after I scheduled a lot of our guest Game of the Year spots. I think it was 2016. And he was just like, "Hey, I'm here. I'll come say hi." Just so we'll have met. And I'm like, "No, I don't like to talk to people before I podcast with them," which is more true than I'm willing to admit. But yeah, that was the only time I had really talked to him in person, and obviously the multiple podcasts we've done together. So after having podcasts with Logan, we were able to really get to the meat of things, in which we talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot. I talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot last week. It was just a thing that sort of fucking came up. I'm gonna talk a lot about Kingdom Hearts tonight, Max. I hope you're fucking ready.
I'm so ready.
But yeah, Logan's a great dude. I got to meet Michael Ruiz.
Yes.
Who I believe you are also associated with, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, that guy's great.
Nah, he
Well-
makes fun of me at every possible chance.
I don't know why he hates Dishonored so much, but outside of that, I think he's a very lovely chap. Max, what I want to know, you used to host many podcasts. You were on this podcast less than a year ago.
It was
now-
34 episodes ago, I
34
think.
episodes ago, yeah. And now you don't host any podcasts.
I don't. The last,
You've retired.
yeah, I retired, I guess, which is weird to say at 23 years old that I've retired something.
So young.
But yeah, the last podcast I did was the end of February.
Mhm.
So it's been, I don't know, a month and a half. Basically, I used to, for 3 years, hosted a show with Logan, who's been
Logan
brought up
Moore.
a couple of times, Logan Moore, called Millennial Gaming Speak. I did that, and then we branched that off into like a little network type thing called Model Citizens, and that had a couple of different podcasts, including the Model Citizen Show, and then one I did by myself called Behind the Pixel. Behind the Pixel, not beneath it.
Not beyond.
Yeah, kind of. And it that was an interview show, which is a lot like plug, get acquainted, right?
Yeah,
That's the name of it. Get acquainted.
that's the name of it. Correct.
Yep. I quit that. You start that. It's almost like we planned it. You were like, I'll just wait until Max quits everything.
The truth is, I blackballed you out of the industry.
you DM'd me on Twitter and said, if you don't quit right now.
If you don't shut this shit down.
No, I just kind of right before I got married, I took a 3-week break from everything. That was to get ready for the wedding, to actually have the wedding, and then to go on the honeymoon. Or maybe, I don't know. It was all in that order, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. And that was really nice. And then we moved and got in. And I was starting to work these crazy hours at a local grocery chain called Publix. I was working like 2 a.m. to 11. And in reality, it was like 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. sometimes. It was no fun.
Yikes.
So the podcasting kind of fell back a little bit, and I just kind of realized I was in a rut with it, and I was tired of it, and I was like 4 guests in a row for, as far as potential guests, I should say, that I emailed for Behind the Pixel, just all said no. I was very polite, and they responded, which it's very difficult to get a response sometimes in this type of work, especially when you're trying to interview people. But just like, kind of kept being defeated in a way. I was just like, I feel like I just need a break. I just want to free up some time. And then I had quit. I was getting ready to quit Publix at that time for my current job, which is like technical writing for construction. And we were getting a dog. Decided to.
You got a dog?
I did. Tax return was a dog.
That's fucked up, right? Like,
Was it alive when it arrived at your house?
It was very much. He's very much alive, and he's teething. I'll tell you what, right here, right now. I grew up with cats.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really take care of. Like, my mom took care of them. They were just around the house. I never really paid attention to them.
Yeah.
But I've always been around cats pretty much my whole life. Never, if you can help it, if you can stop the cuteness, and you don't want the struggle, never get a puppy. Because they chew everything.
Yeah.
Because they're teething. It's a nightmare.
So you were like that puppy once.
I was. As a wee
Somebody had
lad.
to deal with your bullshit.
Yeah, someone did. And he's great, and I love him. And the reason we decided to get him is because I work from home, so I'd be able to help take care of him.
Ends up you just have to deal with his bullshit all the time.
All the time. It's
Like,
it's great.
Do you know how old he is?
Yeah, he's 5 months, going on 6.
And when did you get him exactly?
2 months ago.
He'll get used
So
to
right
it.
around when I ended the podcast.
Yeah, the only way to have the puppy not bite everything is to basically have a 24-hour watch on him.
Yeah. Get him
Just
like
and that lasts for too long. That lasts until they're about 1 year old.
That lasts until you're tired.
And he's so smart, determined, or the cage is super cheap. I don't know which one it is, but like if we leave it, at least so far, if we leave, he like breaks out of it. Like even with a padlock on it, he figured a way out. And I'd set my webcam up on the desk and private live stream on YouTube so I could watch him while I was away. And he's a stinker, and so we've been trading him.
How do you do it?
So it's a 2-pin, like sliding pin cage. So one on the top, one on the bottom. 2 times he figured out how to push his nose against the bottom pin to flip it up. And then, I don't know, somehow through the force of him just ravagely trying to escape, managed to slide the bottom pin enough where then he could just wedge him, just basically pry the door up and wedge himself through the gap, which has to be painful. So then I went out and bought a padlock with a key and just locked the bottom so he wouldn't be able to push his way out. And then the last time he replicated the same thing with the top pin. So
what a resourcul motherfucker.
He's something. I can send you the clip if you want.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And you've got the wrong cage, because those pins should not come out like that.
Yeah,
you know what's funny?
It's when you slide those pins up, they should take a good 6 inches to slide up or down.
It's they're horizontal. They slide this way, not this way.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The
cages,
like the lockers that you get at PAX in the press room, are exactly those kinds of dog kennel cages. They're not really lockers; they're just dog kennel cages.
I want to definitely get a new crate for him, with like pins outside that he can't read. I almost want to get him just a really big airplane one with just walls, so he won't be able to necessarily see entirely out.
What you should do is just build him a fort of chew toys.
Dude,
wait a minute.
He'd go through it so fast. He killed 2 toys to get
today. Listen, man, but that could be a really great YouTube live stream. just let the bankroll come in.
I've also been told that like having the radio on while we're gone, or even if he's out in the living room, like the TV on, like it can help him. I don't know. He hears people. It just should calm him down. It's worked a couple of times. So I moved this last time when he escaped through the top. I had my TV set up on my desk and put on Pirates of the Caribbean. What's the new one? Dead
Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah, I had that one on because of Netflix. But because I was worried YouTube would hear the audio and shut down the stream, even though you couldn't see the movie, I had to mute my stream. But he was watching. I don't think he likes Johnny Depp, but he does like Food Network Star. Is that the show's Food Network Star?
I don't know, dude.
It's a Food Network challenge show where they decide who's the next star. But the thing is, Food Network doesn't. It's all game shows now. So where do they go?
Yeah, where's the food?
I mean, they cook food. It's just
but no one seems to eat it. It's messed up.
Yeah, it's weird. The cooking channel's where you want to go if you actually want to
There's a cooking channel now? Man,
it's owned by Food Network. So basically all the cooking stuff's on cooking, and Food Network is watch people compete with food.
That sounds all right, though. Top Chef is a very enjoyable show.
If you love food game shows, you should watch Cutthroat Kitchen.
Okay.
Cutthroat Kitchen
with Jordan Ramsay's?
No, it's Alton Brown.
Oh, shout out to Alton Brown.
Oh, yeah. Alton Brown's great. Basically, if I may do a short pitch.
Here we go.
4 chefs go in, each given $25,000. There's 3 rounds. Each round, one of them goes home until the end. They're given 60 seconds to get all the food they need out of this kitchen to cook whatever dish Alton tells them to cook. After they grab their ingredients, then there's an auction, usually of 3 items, sabotages. And so they spend the $25,000 that Alton gives them to buy things to use against their opponents. It could be things like take all of the eggs out of their basket and give someone an egg from an Egg McMuffin. someone left old eggs or whatever, like ruin their cooking process. And then at the end of each round, a judge comes in, eats their food, and knows nothing about whatever crazy sabotages were put on them. And then one of them goes home. At the end, the winner gets to keep whatever money they didn't spend.
What if, like, to sabotage them, you just like bought a gun and killed them?
Well, Alton's not auctioning off guns, so yet. I think the show's over, though. I think it's all said and done. There's even a spinoff called Camp Cutthroat, and it was this,
kids?
but no, it was adults, just in a summer camp theme with like outdoor sabotages, like obstacle courses and leaf blowers.
All right, now Ton is gonna pay $30,000 to take all your eggs and make you go through this broke ass wipeout course from 2009. Are you ready? No.
I'll do it, and I'll prove we're the best.
I'll prove Todd can shove a gun up his butt. That asshole. I think Cutthroat Kitchen XXX, my new show, is gonna be a real big hit with the kids. Cutthroat
you know
Kitchen
what you
Battle
really should
Royale.
do? To be a hit with the kids, just put 100 chefs on an island and say, scavenge and find your ingredients. Last chef alive.
But also there's guns.
You have to, each round you're assigned a dish. Ingredients are scattered across the island.
Yeah.
Combined with weapons.
But
last chef in the middle with a perfectly cooked dish wins.
The real greatest ingredient is human flesh. So well, I'm glad that your dog made you quit podcasts. I'm pretty sure that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I wanted a break, time to focus on my new family and work, and it's actually been really nice. Mm-hmm. And then you hit me up and you're like,
and then
on a podcast?
Agreed to do this, and now you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life.
I did what I put into my calendar.
Welcome, I said, new IPP member.
Yeah, exactly. and you're only a member by default because this podcast will still be going on by the time.
Wow. I did put till God knows when in my calendar, so.
We've got some stuff to talk about this week, but I don't know. I'm not feeling like very newsy, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I went to Boston. I did some stuff at PAX. I'm trying to think like non-games that I played stuff at PAX. I feel like I played a lot of video games, which was nice. But yeah, that was most of my week. It was very tiring. I think all told I walked like 34 miles over the course of 4 days, which is
34. Walked. Yeah. I thought you said worked 34 miles.
I worked 34 miles. They call it the longest mile. It's actually 34 of them. No, I walked a lot. The location that we were staying at this year was excellent. It was as exciting as I thought it would be. There's a lot of stuff on IrrationalPassions.com. We made that bet last week, and I was like, I bet it'll be more than this. I could not have anticipated the way things were to have gone. But yeah, there's we'll talk about it once we get in the real show in just a moment, but did some work out there. Thank you to Quentin, to Jarrett, to Logan, to George, all those, and to Mike. I almost forgot Mike. How could I forget Big Mike, as we learned to call him? All put in a tremendous amount of work to create some of the best stuff I think we've ever put on IrrationalPassions.com. So, and we recorded a real dumb podcast live there last week. It was about an hour and 5 minutes long, so it's nice and consumable. You can go listen to the audio edited version, or you can go watch us in our Airbnb just talking about it. Tyler Treese got to sit down with the director and the composer of Nier Automata, and the first thing he asked Yoko Taro was about his fucking Instagram. That's all I'm saying. Just saying.
You said it. I own Nier, haven't played it yet.
There you go. You should probably play that game.
Got it for Christmas.
I think
I also have Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein.
I feel like
that game is not like those games.
yeah, that game is very much not at all like either of those other games.
Nope. Wolf I started. I was
Mhm.
at the top of. I was in New York last time.
Are you also on like the band that doesn't really like Wolfenstein?
I liked it. I liked the first one.
Okay.
It's fine. I had more problems with Doom.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
right.
with
That's right.
Wolfenstein.
'Cause I'm flashing
I'm-
back to when I was on your show.
Yes, when I got chewed out for thinking Doom was too long.
Listen, I get it.
I mean, it is too long, but it's still good. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of. I think that was like where Logan and I came down on it.
It's a very long game.
It's a very long game.
Should have like chopped it in half.
To be fair, like you told me like that it took you like 15 hours to beat it.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
I think it was 13.
And I'm like, that game took me 9 hours. I don't know what you did.
Logan did it in a weekend. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
took
he
my
did it
time
in one
with it.
sitting.
but I did not have your game clock on that side.
I'm
I've had dreams.
I'm slow at the game.
I've had dreams about the double barrel shotgun from that game.
I mean, it's a great shotgun.
It is the best video game shotgun. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna wait for somebody to prove me wrong.
Oh, that's Huber.
Yeah, we do have to reference Huber.
It's on
Man.
the list. I know that when he did his list of that.
It's true. Ooh, I'm sure he's got a good list. Video game shotguns, man. Has a bad video game shotgun. A Way Out. Let's record the show, and that way I can talk about A Way Out. That's my kind of segue.
Didn't you beat that game already? I thought
I
you
did.
Apparently, it has a bad shotgun in it.
It's got a bad shotgun. It's just like there's not a lot of impact. You get good. When a shotgun hits something, it should feel like you hit something with a shotgun. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You guys ready to start recording?
Is it born ready?
Do you remember how this works? No.
Don't you count down or something?
I count down from 5 to 1, and on 1, we're all gonna hit the record button together.
Sounds great to me. I was trying to figure out how long I've played Doom. I'm ready.
Okay. Namshin, Scott, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. On 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is that a question?
1.
It sounded like it.
Podcast?
Time 14 hours, by the way.
14 hours. Yeah.
Compared to my friends, Logan played it for 12.
You know what would be really helpful is if a trophy for game completion told you how long it took you to beat it.
I played on Xbox. Xbox does really good at tracking how long I waste my
Yeah.
time on video games.
Yes.
Uh,
Except
please-
like it's like per game. Some games don't track it as well
Yeah.
as other ones.
And I just prefer trophies over achievements, so that's the
Me too, but
pickle.
like
We need to get over that hump because that Xbox One X, bro.
yeah.
Well, I don't have a TV for it.
I mean, just the ecosystem in general.
Listen, man, I don't have a TV for it either, and I really love my Xbox One X. Let me
I
tell you
can't-
about this totally not sponsored segment.
I like the glasses, the little dip there.
Yeah. It was very sexual. I got new Gunners while I was in Boston. I like them a lot. They're very hipster. And they're a little less yellow. They don't protect against as much light, but they are very comfortable.
Comfort is super important when it comes to glasses.
Yeah. Although I'm still breaking in the sides. My ears are a little sensitive.
Yep.
But the long gaming sessions, let me tell you, you need some guns.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. Like, those aren't prescription glasses. What are those?
Gunners, they reduce eye strain. They like help absorb blue light, I think is what it is called.
Blue light.
So like when you can set your phone screen to be orange or whatever to help reduce it.
It is essentially a lot like Night Shift. And they help me a lot when I'm editing video, podcasts, photos, writing, and also playing video games. So I'm doing a lot with screens throughout my day.
So like 95% of your life.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been taking them into work while I've been training.
Gaming styles.
Yeah, they've been super helpful for that. Let me tell you about my gaming style.
Well, no, I'm looking at their glasses right here. They're kind of fly.
Yeah.
There's some by Razer.
Yes, they did a partnership with Game Grumps as well. There's a Game Grumps branded Gunner glasses. I wanted to get those, but I don't think they sell them anymore.
Huh. Didn't know these existed.
Gunner Optics. They were Adam Sessler did a series of ads for Gunner that you should look up. They're pretty good. I don't know if
Adam
they're still
Sessler.
in
I haven't
the
heard that name in a while.
X-Play area. Yeah, man, he's off in the shady business dealings now.
Is that what he does? I stopped following him on Twitter, so I have no idea what he's doing.
He's like helps consult on with games.
God, he was doing something with Friday the 13th. That was the last thing I remember.
That was one of the consulting projects he did.
Got it.
Are you ready to podcast now?
You ready to
Yes.
change the damn subject.
Are you ready for these guns to laser beam right through you?
Like Jack and Incredibles 2.
Hell yeah! You see that trailer now, Shin?
I did.
I think that movie's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be good.
I would love it if it's in Kingdom Hearts. Alex, I set you up.
It won't be.
Shut up.
I feel like we would already know if it was in Kingdom Hearts.
They're making a whole Lego games of the Incredibles. I'm like, how many characters want to be in that game?
Dude, all you need is Frozone. Like,
Oh my
really?
gosh. Do you think Frozone's wife will be a character in Lego Incredibles?
No, she doesn't have any powers, right?
Ooh, that sounds like a bet.
How many Lego games are there with
you
people
never
that
even
like
see
are not
her.
important?
You might see her in the second one. We don't know. It's true.
In that trailer, you just heard her voice again, so I'm assuming that's just that bit again.
I love that she's just an off-screen entity that's yelling at Frozone about his fucking super
Maybe you
suit.
could play that. I don't know.
I
Hit X.
I
to
think
yell.
she could be in there. I could see it being in a Lego game.
There's no way. I can't see it.
All you need is an African American lady with Lego, and you're good. Because nothing to bind the characters.
Like some little side quest or something, and you get to play it, run around and stuff. It's like running around as Stan Lee in one of the Marvel games.
Actually, that's assuming that she's African American. I apologize.
Yeah, man. What the fuck? No.
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking about doing like a spoopy intro for this, but like I really don't. I don't have anything.
I got the Dark Moon ringtone on my phone.
I mean, listen, man. You can do whatever you want for when I introduce you. God knows Nobishin does, so you live your truth. I'll live mine. It is Friday, April 13th, 2018, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am your very spoopy host, Alex O'Neill. It's Friday the 13th. It's a podcast, y'all. Let's do this. Join me this week. We have Scott Cuth here.
Hello.
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
The hands of fate could not defeat me. The sister of fate could not hold me. And you will see the end of this day. I will have my revenge.
And then a slightly less angry Max Roberts is joining us this week.
Nobishin, I wish you told me. I would have like queued up another God of War quote and like would have thrown in my 2 cents.
Yeah, just like give the handoff. Boy, something.
Just say
Aries.
Calliope and you're good.
Calliope!
Athena!
It's like Jesus.
Aries!
Herpes! Did you say herpes?
Jeez.
God of War got
he
weird.
meant herpes. Maybe Kratos should stop playing all those fucking sexually driven minigames. It's God of War. It's not. Yeah, I guess we're still a week out from God of War, but it's Friday the 13th. It's very spoopy. Max Roberts, you were joining us, now retired podcaster.
I'm like Brett Favre. I retired and then you pull me back in.
I'm pulling you back into the game. The ripe old age at 23.
Almost 24.
All right, I turned 25 like 2 weeks ago. Chill. It'll
Abby
be fun.
turns 25 this year.
Okay. Oh, you dated an older woman.
I did. Some might describe that as a cougar.
All right. I would never describe a person 1 year older than you as a cougar, but here we are. That's how we should start describing you, Nobishin, as a cougar. A cougar hanging out with all these young kids.
I think a male version of a cougar is the panther.
No.
That's
What is a panther?
That's racist.
That was not.
This is a very racially driven podcast.
Ooh, we're off the rails this morning.
I mean that, and it's the morning at 8:46 p.m.
I'm talking to NATO here, Alex. Get off my back.
It's true. You are actually appealing directly to our Australian audience. I appreciate that. We got a good show lined up. We're back. I'm back from Boston. We had y'all had the week off. Max wasn't here.
I mean, technically, I had the week off
You did
from podcasting.
Yeah. We talked about podcasts and Max history with them in the bonus content. You should go listen to that. Let's Max, how about we kick some things off with housekeeping? How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Make the housekeeping. Keep clean the house.
We the writing team for IrrationalPassions.com went to Boston last weekend to attend PAX East 2018, and we did a whole bunch of stuff. If you go to the front page of IrrationalPassions.com, I don't know what it's going to look like on Tuesday per se. I think like my Yakuza review will probably be up there, so it won't be entirely PAX East content at that point. But from tip to toe, from toe to tip, it is entirely PAX East content right now.
Stem to stern.
Stem to stern, port to bow. I don't know if that was right.
That would be the back of port is the left side of a boat and the bow's the front. So
You just play
from
Sea of
left to
Thieves,
front.
Alex.
There's PAX East content, a whole lot. Like we got every flavor. You want podcasts recorded on the show floor? We got that. It wasn't technically on the floor. It was in a room next to the floor, but you get it. You want podcasts recorded in an Airbnb with some slightly intoxicated people? We got that too. You want video previews? We got those. That's the first time we've done stuff like that. They came out really great. You want written previews? We got those too, man. We got everything except for interviews, which I was told that people would do, and then no one did them.
So they're all fired.
So everyone is fired. We are reshuffling. There's a lot of stuff up. There's actually a nice little banner right under our kind of highlighted 3 posts. If you click on that, that'll take you to our PAX East category page, and you can see everything PAX East related for PAX East 2018. A couple of highlights that I'd like to point out from everybody. I played the video game The Messenger, and it literally blew my fucking mind open. I played that game, and at one point in my demo, I played it I played the first level, and then the director of the game sat down and kind of walked me through basically the entirety of the rest of that game, just so like I could understand what the fuck is going on with this game. And there was a moment while he was taking me through it where I literally put my head in my hands and I said, "Oh my god!"
That's this summer, right?
That is late summer.
Late summer. Gosh, that'll be September.
August,
September.
I was told that they were trying to avoid September, which is.
I mean, yes, they should avoid September.
My advice to you, if you really want to know a little bit about The Messenger, you can read my preview. You should not learn anything about The Messenger. You should absolutely not watch any trailers, previews, videos, anything about that game. You should go in as blind as humanly possible, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. That is how I feel about The Messenger. But I'm very proud of my preview. I think I don't give too much away. I kind of talk about my experience that I had, my emotional experience. And what was cool was like I posted that on Friday after I saw it, and I went back afterwards, and Genevieve Saint Ange, full disclosure, she's doing the PR for that game. She's a friend of mine. Happy birthday, Jen, wherever you are. She did the PR for that. Jen, the director of the game, Theory, like they read it and they were like, "Wow, it was really good." I was like, "Damn, I feel good about this." So go check that out. Logan wrote a preview. I'm trying to like the one of his that I really liked was for The Inner Friend. That was his favorite game that he saw there. A very interesting kind of like surrealist horror game that really stuck with him. Quentin wrote a really great preview on City of Brass, first-person roguelike I got to play a little bit of. It seems very much up my alley. And George wrote a preview for Donut County, that game where you make holes and make things fall. And he really liked that game. He said it was his game of show. And Jarrett's really the wordsmith that he is put us all to shame with his Soul Calibur 6 preview. He played a lot of that game, and he's got a way with words, and you should go read them. And Mike did a bunch of videos that you should all watch. They're all pretty short. They're between like 2 and 4 minutes long. But his one on Omen Sites, which went up today, very cool. That was his favorite thing that he saw from the show. So, a whole bunch of really cool stuff out there. There's way more past that. Like, I got to play Below again. There's a bunch of really cool indie games. Jarrett got to play a game called Scum, which is a battle royale shooter with like realistic scientific caloric tracking, where like if you put yourself on a diet and start exercising and eating right in that game, like you'll notice dividends in that game. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Didn't they do something like that in a Grand Theft Auto game where like you had to diet and exercise and stuff?
San Andreas, I guess, is the one with the whole big diet stuff. This is like taking that to like a legitimately scientific place, like actual real stuff. Mike also played that new Suda 51 game. I forget.
Travis
Strikes Back. Travis Strikes Again. Yeah, Travis Strikes Again. TSA is the abbreviation. I remember we had a good guffaw about that. So if you want to know what that game is, he wrote about it. Although I guess we know what that game is now. But yeah, go to IrrationalPod.com. Go just take in all the packs that is happening. There's a lot of it to go around. And I'm trying to think outside of that, that's like really the stuff, if you want to know it. And let's transition away from that and talk about some video games. I'm trying to figure out like where to start here. I played a lot of stuff at PAX that I didn't necessarily write about, so I figured if you guys want to know about a couple of things at PAX, I could tell you about them. For example, I played Detroit, the new PlayStation game that is coming out next month. That is, let's call it a David Cage-ass video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Max, are you at all excited for Detroit Become Human? Whatever.
Yeah, I liked Heavy Rain. I didn't play Beyond Two Souls. I played the demo for it. But I'm interested. I think it'll be really cool to play with Abby. We always play Telltale games or any games where you make decisions that changes the stories. We do those together. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about it. Yeah.
Navishin, I feel like you and I are kind of at the same spot with that game.
Yeah, definitely something I'll give a shot. I usually like those games. I enjoyed Beyond Two Souls more than most people did, and I really liked Heavy Rain. So like, yeah, I'm down for it. I'm just, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah. Maybe the last David Cage game I get.
Probably, yeah.
That was like where I was at. So yeah, I think we're kind of in the same spot. I played, the same demo that they've shown a lot of, the hostage situation demo. But like playing it and like kind of being in it, you kind of see those threads, those kind of.
Did you save the fish?
I didn't save the fish. Why does everyone keep asking me? I forgot about the fish.
It's just because when they showed it off, what was that? PSX?
PSX, yeah.
Everyone's like, save the fish.
I totally forgot about that, and the first question everyone has asked me has been, did you save the fish?
That fish probably dynamically changed the ending of the game.
I hope so. There's like a moment when that demo begins, and if you've seen it, it's you've seen this moment. But like you're walking in as Connor, he's an android boy, a nice good android boy, and he's walking into a situation to kind of diffuse it, and the mother of the daughter who's being held hostage like sees you. She gets excited, and then she's like, "Why didn't they send a real person?" And then she just says that like over and over again, and you're like, "Okay, yeah, I remember these kinds of games." Where it's just like that very heavy-handed David Cage touch. And then I talked about it a little bit on the Input podcast that they recorded there. I made a guest spot on that, and I talked about Detroit. I don't know. That game seems like something I will very much enjoy, and I'm kind of going into it with that expectation. It doesn't seem without issue, but what I liked was, and it's probably just the case for the demo that I played, it like at the very end of the demo, it showed me like a big tree that showed all of the branching paths, but it didn't tell you what the other paths were. It just kind of told you where they were in the timeline. And it would say, like, you did this, and then here's another option that's locked. Or it'll show you the option if you saw it, but kind of also indicates to you that there are, like, things that will happen that are different after that.
Did they?
So
show
there
you
was a fish branch then.
There might have been a fish branch.
Did they show you that? Did they say, like, I'm trying to understand that. Like, they said that they're going to show you those branches, like,
No,
after,
so
like, okay.
I'm not sure if that's going to be in the final game. You know, you think about it, like, Beyond Two Souls didn't even have any of that stuff where it would show you. I guess it did have a little bit of that.
I mean, it showed you at the end, though. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that. Not to put more shit on the game or anything like that, but like I think that like kind of like breaks the immersion that he usually has in his games.
My feeling was like I think Detroit, because of the situation it is in and kind of like the reality of the kind of game that it is going to end up being, I think it needs more video gamey type shit like that. So it is kind of like to put graphically, it's less up its own ass.
Sure.
But to put more laymanly, it is having more fun with itself, more aware of what it is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I really liked it in that context. You know, I'm all for David Cage kind of going full whatever he does, but I think that game would be better received if it was more aware of the fact that it was a video game. And also aware of the fact that maybe it doesn't have a lot of unique stuff to say, because it doesn't necessarily feel like it does.
I mean, because I feel like Until Dawn did that perfectly.
Exactly, yeah. And I think leaning into that worked for that game, and I think it could work for Detroit as well.
Yeah, but I don't think they're presenting it that way, or at least from what I've seen.
But you know, like I think they've pretty much muddled all of the presentation for that game at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that maybe once you get into the actual game itself, it presents itself to you directly,
for sure,
well enough. So seeing that in there, and like I kind of hope that's in there. I don't know necessarily if you should show that at the end of every scene. I think that would be cool personally because I'm into that kind of stuff. But I had a good time with it. I did save the hostage. If you were concerned. Nobody asked me if I saved the hostage.
Well, how did you go about saving the hostage? Did you shoot the android? Did you calm the android down?
I calmed the android down.
Did the fish
and
jump out of the way?
The fish jumped up and took a bullet for me. I calmed the android down by lying to him, as he was very explicit in saying, and then
don't lie to me.
The police lit that motherfucker up like the 4th of July.
So you killed him.
Oh yeah, he got smoked. I didn't kill him though, so
you
I didn't feel
directly led to his death.
Absolutely. But I would rather have somebody else kill him than bloody my own hands.
So
welcome to my nightmarish psychological thriller, Detroit Become Human.
Where everyone dies, but not because of me.
Exactly. I'm like an indirect serial killer, using the police as my weapon. It's starting to sound like a pretty interesting video game, actually. I played Code Vein, which is anime Dark Souls. And I only said that 3 times in my preview. It's not.
Is it the Dark Souls of anime?
That's what you said right now, Mishin? Or is it the anime of Dark Souls?
One of those, yeah.
It is. I would say it is more like Neo, than it is directly like Dark Souls. I think it takes a lot from Dark Souls in the same way that Neo did, but like the attack buttons are mapped to the face buttons, like they are in Neo and things like that. It also like you have a party member, you know, like Mia, my party member was just hanging out. She could heal me. she could save me from dying. I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of felt more like an action RPG.
Like a Palico?
Not quite Palico level. I guess, actually, now that you say it, I would say a little bit more competent than the Palico. I feel like the Palico is very intentionally a little bit more hands off. They mostly focus on healing than attacking, whereas Mia would like fuck some dudes up. She got like a scorpion tail. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it not to say that Dark Souls isn't an action RPG. It absolutely is, but it felt more like a traditional Japanese action RPG, and the fact that you had like a party member kind of rolling around with you. She could die and then she would get resurrected if I rested at a bonfire. I put in air quotes because they're basically bonfires. They're like plants that you literally rest at. You light and then rest at. So there is a lot of Dark Souls influence, but I still thought it was really cool. And there's a lot of combo stuff in it, and there's like charge attacks that you can do mid-combo to like drain enemies' power. What was cool is like the souls equivalent, like the currency in the game. It caps at certain points, and you have to use your like blood gauntlet to like raise that so you can get more of it. I'm not really sure how that worked though, because I only had like 10 minutes. If I had more time to spend with it, I would have had a better grasp on it. I played Dark Souls on Switch also. I didn't really have much to say about it. It was a lot like Dark Souls, which is to say a little rough, but in an endearing way. But that was fun. What's fucked up is they messed up the controls on Dark Souls. I guess like Nintendo has this thing where the A button can't be the cancel button. It has to be the select button. But it's like not the X button, which is like what the equivalent would be on like a PlayStation controller. It's not at the bottom, it's on the right. So in order to select, pick up, or highlight something or open a menu, you would have to hit the button on the right. And then in order to select something in that menu, you'd have to then hit a different button. And it felt weird and fucked up. It was just dumb. I hope you can change that in the final version. But we'll see. Let's see. Other things. I've not yet written a preview for Ashen. It's another very much like Souls game. It was actually in the Xbox press conference last year at E3. This is kind of like that minimalist, like faceless game. Those guys running around with faces.
Yeah, I remember that.
It is like Dark Souls, very much way more like Dark Souls than I would even say Code Vein is. Difference being it has a dedicated jump button and you can like climb stuff. Very, very minimally. I don't want to make it sound like Assassin's Creed or something like that, but attacks are mapped to the shoulder buttons, guard with L1, attack with R1, heavy attack with R2, stamina meter, the whole 9 yards. What was cool was it has kind of like a drop-in, drop-out co-op like Journey, right? When you're just walking around, a dude might just show up in your world. I guess you could even kind of relate it to something like Absolver as well. So I thought that was cool. That was a pretty short demo, but my concern is there's maybe not a lot unique to that game. It just kind of felt like one of those games. It felt like a very good one of those games, but I played Shovel Knight King of Cards, the new expansion.
I wanted to ask about that.
That one's gonna be good. I didn't play the whole weird tile set card thing. They had
their version of Gwent. That's what I call it.
Okay, wannabe Gwent. That's really cool. Basically, like King Knight has like a dash. If he hits something, he like jumps up again, and then he will attack anything he lands on after that point, but only after he hits something with his air dash or regular dash. The way they use that for traversal is as clever as they used Spectre Knight's like diagonal slashes and whatnot. Remind me a lot of Spectre of Torment. It is the same kind of deal where all the levels are handmade for this character versus like Plague of Shadows, which only had like those sections of levels made for that character. So it was very fun. I only played one level, but it was a lot of fun, and I got the high score for the whole day. I think for the whole weekend, I got the highest score, which I felt pretty fucking good about. Normally there's not really scores in Shovel Knight. You just kind of get gems and then sell them. But for the PAX weekend, Yacht Club Games was doing like a whole little scoreboard. That's the big stuff. Everything else we should have.
Did you
written stuff on?
Did you play Guacamelee 2?
I did. I did play Guacamelee 2. I wrote a preview for Guacamelee 2. That game seems alright. My demo was a little bit more platformy. I was like, oh, and I said to the guy, Graham was the person I was talking to. I don't remember if he was like director or producer, but actually I have his card here to my left. But I said like, oh, it seems like you guys are kind of foregoing the Metroidvania stuff in favor of more of like a platformer focus. And he's like, no, it's just this this demo. Graham Smith, he's the co-founder of Drinkbox. Very nice man. And he said that there will be multiple hub areas like the town from Guacamelee 1. He'll say that there's more than one of those, and they are laid out and full of secrets in a very similar way. And I'm like, okay, cool. That was like my favorite part about the original game. And I was honest with him, like, hey, like I played through the game, but I didn't really want to go back for all the post-game stuff afterwards. I'll say like the level of different abilities and stuff that I saw in that demo was really exciting. There's a lot of chicken abilities.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing more than just platforming as the chicken. You can attack. You can like do a flutter jump and hover as the chicken.
Like Yoshi?
Not like Yoshi, more like a glide.
More like Luigi's Hover.
Yeah.
There we go.
Less altitude, but you know, no one's got ups like Luigi. Let's be real. So yeah, I don't know. That Guacamelee 2 seems really cool. It was cool talking to him. He was like, you know, we went to Severed, and like afterwards we were thinking about like what do we want to do, and we just had so many ideas left over from Guacamelee 1 that we turned that into a full thing. I was like, hey, that's cool.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 situation.
Yeah. And yeah, I've seen some of the ideas there. One game I do want to bring up, Pixel Rips 1989 was the only VR game I played. Super cool. Basically, you are in VR, playing as a. There's like more to it than this, but just for the purposes of getting the point across, you were playing as like I think a 9-year-old girl in London in a classroom trying to not pay attention to class and play on her handheld video game console. So in VR, you are like, you see your teacher run around teaching class, and then you look down in your lap and you are playing on a Game Kid was the name of the thing I was playing on.
It's like that WarioWare mini game.
Yeah. Only like you're like really playing the game as opposed to the game only being like don't get caught.
Yeah.
And what was cool was like so there's a VR mechanic where you can look up to your right and you can grab like a spitball gun and like shoot stuff in the classroom to distract the teacher, like knock stuff over, and then that gives you time to kind of get through the level in the actual game, or the game within the game, I suppose. And then at some point, like it got all trippy, and the creature in the game, the enemy in the game, like lifted the game out of the Game Kid and into the actual environment, and you're kind of like navigating and using the VR mechanics in addition to like the gameplay mechanics at the same time. It's very cool. It's a great idea, but also like if you watch the trailer, it seems like that game gets fucking bonkers. I'm very excited to see that. It was one of my favorite things I saw. Very cool idea. And it's coming to all VR platforms at the same time. PSVR, Oculus, and Vive, which I thought was also very cool. But that's like the main pack stuff. Everything else we should have written stuff on. The only things like I specifically didn't write about were like Dark Souls Remastered on Switch, because I didn't really know what to say, and Detroit, because I feel like that demo that I played has been previewed to death. I don't think I had anything to add to that. I played some other video games though, if you guys want to hear about them real quick.
What'd you play?
I finished A Way Out, the cooperative video game from Joseph Fares.
So you found a way?
I guess. Navjan, do you know how that game ends?
I do.
Okay. Man, I have some thoughts. I don't want to necessarily... The thing is, like, I still really like the game. Like,
did it feel hokey to you?
No, it didn't feel hokey. I just felt betrayed.
Sure.
I like, because I like the ending. I don't want to make it seem like I don't. I have feelings about it. I was very happy I played that game with who I played that with, which is to say Jacob Bryant, my lover from across the stars, somewhere off in Los Angeles. He got back from Tokyo, so we sat down and finished playing that game. It's very good. I had a great time with it. It is, it is very much like a co-op, like Quantic Dream game. I think that is like the most accurate description. But like the whole kind of like last section of it is just kind of like a crappy third-person shooter, which is a bit of a bummer. There's more to it than that. Like they still have some really great twists and whatnot through to the end, but there's a lot of just shooting at the end, and it's like not as fun as the hey, let's play Connect 4 in this hospital lobby, which I did for 45 minutes.
You played Connect 4 for 40 minutes?
Yeah, I won every single round, and Jacob was not fucking happy about it.
Oh
yeah. He's like, well, I guess I'm done playing with you. Thanks for fucking showing up. $30 well spent. It was very funny. He was very salty about it. That game has an ending. I kind of want to talk about it with people, but I also might just like over it already. But I guess the thing is, I didn't see it coming at all, and I really should have. And that's all I'll say. A Way Out was fun. I am very glad I played it. Again, I never bought the game too. I did the whole trial experience with Jacob. So, I also, on my way to PAX, purchased Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 on the Nintendo Switch platform.
Why?
Because I wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, like listen. The meme is now if it's on Switch, you want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wanted something for the flight, and I play a lot of Bayonetta. I don't know. I played like 4 hours of that game now.
Mm-hmm.
I like that game a lot. I would say like, and maybe you can Sherpa me through it. Nabshin. There's some stuff like I feel like I dodge a lot when I don't, I guess, or I'm not fast enough.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get better at that. I'll say I really started enjoying the combat a lot more once I got the sword. So the first, I guess, major weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see the other weapons. I have the whip now. I beat the first boss, which I guess like maybe I was also a little bit let down by the boss because I heard so much about the bosses. I'm sure like the later ones are more bonkers, but that first boss was a little I guess underwhelming because like I don't know if you remember. No, I guess you just recently played it, so but like there's the whole like it's like the big arena and he's just kind of like walking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well I guess I also felt like I didn't know if I was doing it right. Is it easier to hit that guy like when you're up on like the little archways that you can rebuild, or is it harder?
It's easier.
Okay. But I didn't understand how to switch. Like you had 2 weapon sets. I didn't actually really realize that until just now in the game. So, I've been having more fun with it, like doing the whip, and like you can pull enemies toward you, and then switching to the sword and like doing a bunch of sword attacks, and that's been a lot of fun.
Do you use the claws at all, or do you have those yet?
I don't think I have those yet. I just got the first piece of a new LP, and the LPs, for folks who don't know, kind of turn into the weapons. So I think that's for the claws.
Okay.
Those fucking dog guys. I really don't like those guys. The ones that...
okay.
Yeah. Because they grab you and they like throw you around and then throw you down. I'm like, well, I feel like this was excessive. And those guys that I just met who have the claw... They have claw weapons that drop when you beat them. There's like the red lightning guy and the blue lightning guy, and they can like air combo you. They like lift you up and like air combo you. So,
I don't think you're at this point yet, but like when you do, I would invest into getting the bats within.
Okay.
That move will help you as far as dodging, and I think that will be like a more satisfying experience when you get that.
I did get the air dodge like right away.
Yeah, air dodge is worth it, but like it's more about the bats within. Bats within is like it's like the dodge that you do like as soon as like you initially get hit, so then like you won't take that hit, so you won't feel like you're being delayed or like if there's like some button lag, because sometimes it feels that way playing, especially for playing the first Bayonetta. I feel like there's a little bit of button lag at first, but like getting the bats within like as soon as like you get hit, you see that rose that pop up when you get hit. It like immediately like makes you turn to bats, so you won't actually feel that hit, and then like it'll instantly turn to wish time when you do that.
Yeah, I think that would help me out a lot. Honestly, it helps the most to know that I'm not crazy. That is like a sentiment with the game. So, because like the implied pressure is like you want to get as close to the hit as possible before you dodge, so you can get wish time. So, I feel like I'm always like a little bit too late, but like it feels like it should have given it to me on that one. So
yeah,
I think that'll help me a lot.
Yeah, that is an issue with the first game for sure.
But outside of that, I'm having a great time with it.
It's a platinum game. Like the first time you play is always the hardest.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning, because I'm thinking back to like Wonderful 101. I'm like, fuck yeah, I guess this really makes sense. I wish I was better at it. Is the big thing. The thing I like about DMC the most, I think, is that like the game goes out of its way to make you, if you're paying attention to its systems, to make you feel like you're really good at it. Which is why I want to keep coming back to it. But I imagine like if I'm still pretty early on in Bayonetta, so it's not like I've given up on it, and it feels very, very good. I'm still trying to figure out some of the combos, and like there's the loading times are too short, like because I have it digitally. I assume you got it digitally as well.
Yes.
It's like I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to pop some of the air. Okay, we're back in the game. So it is, which is
I think if you hit minus, it'll keep you in that stage until you want to leave.
Oh, okay, I'll try that next time, because it's nice having those like little like here's what the fuck the buttons do on the side. But yeah, Bayonetta it seems like a good video game. I don't know what that George Cruz is up to not playing this game. I'm sorry, sore open wound. My bad. And then I don't know. I fucking started playing Kingdom Hearts again. This was I'm just back on my bullshit. I was fucking pulling for you to do Kingdom Hearts, and you're a little like, I finished Mass Effect. What game should I play next? Thane Nabashin. Now I guess I gotta carry the torch. But I talked a lot about Kingdom Hearts over the weekend, and I was like, man, fuck. And then I just started playing Kingdom Hearts 1 again. I don't even really know why. I don't know.
Are you playing it on PS4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've not played it at 60 FPS before. I don't know, man, I'm liking that game more now than I have before. The last time I played it on PS3, I don't know, it was like whatever. It's still like I think poorly balanced in the late game for Proud Mode, but like I've had less trouble. I guess like I kind of knew what the fuck I was getting into. I think it does play noticeably better at the higher frame rate as well. Kingdom Hearts 1, I think it is more of a standout than 2. I think 2 is like input latency and like action kind of nature makes it like the way it is just, it's going to be faster. It'll translate to a higher speed almost as well as it was at 30 frames. But Kingdom Hearts 1, because it is a little bit more methodical and slower, I think like having those extra frames of animation and input actually makes a pretty big difference. At least it has for me. But yeah, I don't know. I like Kingdom Hearts a lot more this time around than I have in the past. Man, like I've just thought of all these different things to write about in regards to like there is just such a hard pivot in that franchise after Kingdom Hearts 1. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 could basically be from a completely different franchise, I think. Not just like narratively, which is obviously is very different narratively. There's definitely like more of a sense of you are the chosen one in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
And like that's all out the window when there's like 12 chosen.
By the time you get to Dream Drop Distance, you're like, who's in charge?
Who are you? Wait, there's 13 Ansems? Xehanort?
What? And there's There's 7 chosen ones. I'm not special.
Yeah. And what's cool is like toward the end of 3D, and then like again in Fragmentary Passage. Because I've been replaying that on the side as well. I like how
you double dipping.
Yeah, you know me. And Fragmentary Passage is a little bit more rough than I remember that being, but that's kind of neither here nor there. But they kind of start to pin back in on the cool stuff about Sora in that first game, and like not necessarily, I guess like the chosen one aspects of him, but like just like how he brings people together and like his kind of mentality on friendship and things like that that are really endearing in that first game. I feel like they are slowly working their way back to what made that the franchise special initially. Now toward the end of this kind of big anthology, which is really cool. I'm just kind of seeing the parallels when I'm going through the first one again. Man, Riku sucks in that game. He's dumb and annoying, and I don't like him in Kingdom Hearts 1. And it sucks because I think about like because Riku does like all that dumb teen villain bullshit that I love because I'm a bad person, but I hate because like I know like in Kingdom Hearts 3D like Riku's like internal struggle with like the shit that he's done and whether or not he's able to take care of himself and his friends, like he's a very introspective character. And then like you go back to Kingdom Hearts 1, he's like, well, you're dumb and I'm cool and I'm fine.
Did you not see my outfit or my Batwing Keyblade?
Yeah, it's just like it's like, man, there are parts about like the story of Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts that have unquestionably gotten worse, but there are things that have also gotten better. So it's just affirming and like disconcerting on all these levels going back to the first game. It's part of why I really wanted you to fucking play Kingdom Hearts again, Nabashin. But god damn it. It's Kingdom Hearts is very cool. I'd love to sit down with the level designer of Kingdom Hearts 2 and be like, what the fuck happened? Like, because
I got this ball tech, man.
Yeah, let me tell you about this ball tech. The first one is like very Metroidvania adjacent, and it's like now that I've kind of honed in on that need, going back to the first game and kind of seeing how it does that, how it structures that, is really cool, and I'm appreciating that more. And then it just makes like the level design of 2 just seem so boring by comparison. It's just like there's so much that changed. But then you also think about like Kingdom Hearts 2 was made in 3 years. And it was a different era, PS2 game, but
2?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.
I think that was 4 years.
Did the Kingdom Hearts 1 come out in 2002 or 2001? I don't remember. I feel like it was 2002.
I think it was 2.
And then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in Knife, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1. Man, Kingdom Hearts.
2002.
Yeah. And then the... Boy, that second
2
game
was 2005, so
Yeah,
3
yeah.
years.
Okay.
See, I mean, you think about that, like, you understand why of the things that they, like, added to Kingdom Hearts 2 over the first game, like, okay, level design was the one that was on the cutting room floor, and then they added all these other things on top of that. So, I don't know. It's just really interesting to think about those games. I hope that 3 has a little bit more of that explorative vibe to it. But yeah, I've just been going through a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I can now see not an argument not based on combat, because I still think 2's is a lot better, but I've grown to appreciate 1's more. I think there is an argument not based on combat for Kingdom Hearts 1 being better than 2.
It's all that magic system, baby.
Listen, I get it. You and Scott out here fucking talking about fucking mana bars. Cure only taking 1 block of MP and some bullshit like that. And I get it. Arrow is a very handy spell. It's basically needs to be on all the time in Proud Mode. Boy, do I fucking know it.
It's not just that. It's in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you're a magic user and you run out of mana, you're fucking shit out of luck.
So I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 2 on the side as well. And I'll get
How,
to
what are you doing?
listen, man. I got my bees and a lot of bonnets. All right.
He just plays Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot.
Yeah, it's true. It's just kind of
It's not that you can't do it. It's annoying when it doesn't need to be.
There's an item, like a new synthesis item that you can make into Final Mix that adds like an equipable item that adds the MP haste skill on, which like reduces your MP rage time by 25%. So I have 3 of those equipped now because I've just been grinding out synthesis components. So my fucking MP bar empties out in 7 seconds, and it's fucking rad. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts 2 is a very good game.
Oh my gosh.
So I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1, Final Mix. I think I'm going to do all the bullshit in that game. I kind of don't want to, but I kind of do. Because I've never really experienced it, you know?
Go get that Ultima.
Yeah.
Go kill Sephiroth.
Yeah. I've never beaten Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like, man, I want to do this.
That's the only game I've beaten him in.
Yeah. I have a save file. Every time I play Kingdom Hearts 2, I make a separate save file right before I fight Sephiroth, so I can go back and fight him anytime. So I like that fight so much. And that way I'm more prepared if we end up doing a weird mid-year, let's go through our favorite games of all time situation. But
Are you prepared to do all that gummy shit?
here's the thing. In Kingdom Hearts 1, I was like, man, this gummy ship shit, fucking garbage. And then I went and I did all the gummy ship trophies in Kingdom Hearts 2. Finally. I just did them. I got them out of the way. Which I guess they changed it. I was told that they changed how those trophies work from the PS3 version to the PS4 version. But regardless, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Basically, you have to get a S rank on one normal mission on each route. Basically each different gummy ship level, and then you have to get an S rank on one EX mission on each level, which actually isn't too bad. You do have to get an S rank on mission 1 and mission 2. There are like 3 total missions per level. Mission 1 and mission 2 of every level though, and mission 3 of the very last one, to get all the blueprints, which is another one of the trophies. But now the only trophy I have left to get in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is beat it on critical mode. So my plan is to finish Kingdom Hearts 1 and then fucking burn my own bridge and start the cycle all over again with 2. Which I've still never even tried Kingdom Hearts 2 on critical mode. I feel like that's not going to be that bad. If Scott can do it, I can do it.
It won't be that bad.
It's not.
Yeah. Especially, like, I don't have to do any of the extra bullshit. I just got to beat the game. It's like, all right, I can do that. That's whatever. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Hearts, very good. I still feel about that. But now I'm in this weird fucking spot where it's like, well, I played 2, I played 1 now, and I'm like almost at the end of 1. That game's a lot shorter than I thought it was. I'm like 23 hours in, and I'm like right before the final boss. And it's like, damn.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to be spending fucking 20 hours grinding synthesis components and hating everything, but...
Yes.
Max, did you write the guide on IGN Guides for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix?
No.
Do you know who did? Because I feel like you know the people out there.
I don't. I could look.
I've been referencing a lot. There's a lot of personality going on in that fucking guide.
Okay. I honestly, for Kingdom Hearts, I have all the physical guides. And by that, I mean just per game, there's a couple of collector's edition guides I don't have. Like, I try to collect all Kingdom Hearts stuff. When Kingdom Hearts 3 is like has a date and editions announced, it's gonna get my bank account's gonna get ugly.
Here's the thing. I had the same thought, and I feel like we've had this thought separately now. We got those nice pre-orders on Amazon.
Please remind me that I need to give you my credit card number.
yeah. We'll figure that out.
How old is your Kingdom Hearts 3 pre-order on Amazon?
It is. Ooh, what? 2.5 years old now?
2015.
I think it's 2015. Did you get it back when Target?
It was Amazon that listed it like a $40 price point.
It's
No.
because Target did it and they matched Target. Yeah, 2000. I have it sitting here. I want to switch it over to the Xbox version.
And then when Amazon Prime started to do discounts, so we got even more of a discount on it. So it's like $32 for us now or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's some ridiculous.
What? Wait, you're
bullshit.
stacked? The 20% off stacked?
Yeah, we stacked bed.
How?
It's lit.
I got it for $41. I ordered this sucker back January 25th, 2015.
Yeah, so here's the trouble that Namishan. You know we're getting some dumb statue collector's edition version of that game. Well, it's gonna all this work, all this 2 years sitting on this damn thing will be worth nothing. So they're gonna put out like, here's fucking the final form in Kingdom Hearts 3 statue that comes with this game. I'm like, I'm fucking $350. I guess take my money, whatever.
Oh, I'll buy all the editions.
Because here was the thing. I was like, I think it was. I'm trying to think what the last special edition I got. Something in like 2014. I was like, I'm fucking done with special editions. The only 2 special editions I'm gonna get are Persona 5, Kingdom Hearts 3. Got the Persona 5 one. Absolutely do not regret it. It was honestly a very great package. The Take Your Heart edition. But now I gotta get this dumb Kingdom Hearts 3 statue that they're gonna announce at E3 or something.
Yep. Some user named Dr. Mufasa and Spickle. They have roughly the same amount of edits. Those are not people I know. Apparently, Dr. Mufasa is from Indianapolis, Indiana, which is where I was born.
Oh wow!
And his IGN status is, "Thank you, Greg and Colin. You will be missed on this site from 3 years ago."
Been a minute.
Like my thing about it is like special editions always have steelbook cases, and I literally hate steelbook cases.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'm
the
with you.
opposite. If it's got a steelbook case, take my money.
It's like I can't guarantee a steelbook is gonna look the same on my shelf.
Exactly. It's like always like the weird looking stepchild tumor
'Cause
thing on
I
my
love
shelf.
I still have that Nino Kuni 1 steelbook, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about you. It's like I love you, I love you just like God loves all his children, but I don't know how I feel about you. Like Metroid Prime, the trilogy that came out on Wii, is in a steelbook, and it has like that fucking envelope slide thing on it.
Oh, I take the envelopes off. The envelopes are stored somewhere else. I let the steelbook shine.
Yeah, but like it's weird because most of the steelbooks don't have the names written on the spine, so if the envelope's not on it, I just like I got a whole thing.
Oh, I love steelbooks. The
Fucking
more the
Kingdom Hearts
merrier.
1, the 1.5 remix, I love it. Comes with the art book, but the art book is built into the box. for
That
the
is
fucking
awful. I do hate that.
And
That
it's
is
like-
atrocious.
And I'm like, come on, like it was a cool.
I got
idea,
I got the 2.5 collector's edition. That steelbook is gorgeous. It's
That's the
got
only one I
art.
didn't get was the 2.5 one. I just
It's
got the regular ass version.
Really nice looking.
Anyway, man, we're gonna get some dumb.
Oh,
Hopefully
I
they
hope.
have- yeah.
I hope they do what they did for Final Fantasy 15.
What?
That
Do a
was like-
console? Or the giant fucking
No, they
statue
did
that
the
doesn't come
huge
with the game?
statue. They had like 2 editions, 2 different statues, 2 different cases.
Mhm.
Like, I just want an excuse to give them an absurd amount of money and make Abby.
Abby hate you.
Yeah, it's gonna get. She's gonna see what I did to the credit card, and she's gonna be like, "Max, what happened?"
What did you do?
I'm gonna be like,
You
"Babe,
lied to me.
babe, it's Kingdom Hearts."
Yeah.
It's one of the things she knew going into the marriage, and after when they announced Smash for Switch, and she saw my reaction in real time,
Boy.
I think
I
she
hope they do a
fully
collector's
grasped
edition
how
of that.
crazy I am.
Or if they do a Smash Switch, which they probably will.
They'll just do some bundle with colored Joy-Cons like they did for Mario.
Yeah, but like, what if it has like the fucking Smash Brothers logo on the back of the thing? Are you gonna buy that?
Not one for special edition consoles.
Listen, man, you and I have a lineage with Smash Brothers. You
Oh,
can't deny that.
I know. Smash is the first game I ever played.
Yeah. I meant more like on the podcasting end of things, but
Oh yes, on the podcasting end of things as well. But like, I'm more into colored systems than I am.
damn. It's really setting me up for these ones today, huh, Max?
Yep. Hey, if you want to take it back there real quick.
No, I'm
According to,
good.
no, I want to clear my name.
Yeah.
According to Urban Dictionary, a panther is in fact not a man who like the male version of a cougar. A panther is a female who likes older men, so it's the opposite of a cougar.
Very
So
sexual.
it was not racist
Maybe
in my
Nabashin is
intent.
a Panther after all.
And I'm a black man, so Black Panther. We see where you're going with that.
Yeah, no, we do.
Yep.
We got it.
More new.
But anyway, Kingdom Hearts 3 special. Here's the thing. I might just do what I did with Persona. Just like keep that one.
Have Roger get it for you.
Yeah, have Roger find me a store. No, keep the regular edition. Give it away on the show,
I was thinking that.
and then buy the special edition for me. Just for whatever. I am bummed that I don't even know where my Persona. I know where my Persona 5 case is. It's still like on my these games I might still play pile, but it is weird like not having like a regular box for it.
Persona 5 Steelbook is gorgeous.
It's a great
It's,
steelbook.
it's really good, but like it's like the only one that's different from the other ones. And I can say, oh, that's the elite game, but like at the same time, it's like I want it to look pretty.
Yeah, I want it like all the spines to be the same height. You know.
They've gotten better about making sure they're Blu-ray disc height, but
Yeah.
I love it when they look different.
I feel you, Nabashin. That's all the games I've been playing. I know that took way longer than I intended. No one should be surprised. Blah blah blah. Alex talks for 4 hours. The podcast.
6.
I'm working on it. We'll get there. I'm gonna get my numbers up.
374 episodes later, still working on it.
Still working on it. Scott, what about you? Did you play some video games?
Guess what I did.
What'd you do?
I opened up the anime game.
The new nanas.
Slushy.
Ninu
Slushy,
Kuni 2?
slushy.
Slash a cat boy.
Yeah, I made it up for a save point, and I was like, I'm out of time.
You know what? I'm glad that you booted it up. How does it look on your PC?
It's an anime style
It's true.
game,
It's-
so it
just looks like what that game looks like.
it just looks like what that game looks like.
Looks really good though. It's a pretty game.
Yeah,
Are you going to play more Ni no Kuni?
absolutely.
Hell yeah. Anything else? Are you playing anything else?
Yeah, nice. No. No.
Tony somewhere. I think his computer's fixed. He didn't really tell us why he couldn't be on tonight. He just let us know he wouldn't be able to make it. I imagine he's like fighting off invaders for his like bootleg Black Desert Online server. I don't know. I have a very deep and rich fan fiction going on inside my head. Don't worry. Max, what about you, man? What kind of video games are you getting into?
I played Minute. The game it was published by Devolver. Is made by like 5 people. You guys know about Minute?
I've seen stuff on it. It looks good.
Oh, Minute is awesome.
I've
And that
heard.
platinum, super obtainable.
Oh, well. That changes everything.
It should. It's this cool puzzle adventure where you die every minute and you start over back at certain places. Like there's different houses you unlock where you can start over and go from. And basically you just solve environmental puzzles. And every time you die, you keep items or upgrades that you found during your last minute. So it is, you just keep going and your goal is to basically lift this curse that was put upon you. And very, very fun.
It's worth noting for listeners, the game is spelled MINIT, not
Yes.
MINITUE or whatever minute's spelled.
However, the real word minute is spelled.
However the real word minute is spelled, it is not spelled like that.
No.
It's
Very
it's a
cool
idea, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. It's like $10. And
Have
like I said,
did you ever play Half Minute Hero?
did not.
I did not.
No one who has played Minute has played Half Minute Hero. I feel like that's the point of comparison I need to know.
Oh, you heard him and Abby Russell.
It's
like-
him and Abby Russell. Literally my only points of comparison. God damn it, Matt.
I'm trying. I'm sorry.
I hate that you knew exactly what I was referencing. I don't hate it. I love it. I don't know. Would you say if you had a minute to kill, you should check this game out?
I was actually very surprised at how quickly because it keeps track of your total playtime and like how many times you restarted. You can push. There's only two button interactions. One is like to interact with the world, and then one is to just kill yourself at any second, and start over back at a house. I was very surprised at how quickly the minutes built up. So
Yeah.
it's very fun, very quick, short burst puzzle type thing. I don't think it's a game though that you should start and then take a couple days off from and go back to, because you're like exploring this world and you remember, oh, up on this screen this person's like, help me kill these bad guys across the lake and I'll lower the bridge for you, and then you forget where she was a day later and you're like, crap, where was she? Because now I have the thing that can help her, but I don't remember where she was, and you gotta like go find it again. The world thankfully is not super big, but yeah, if you're playing and then you take a break for a couple of days, you'll probably kind of forget where you were. You'll have to take some tours around to really figure out where you were.
Would you say that this game would be better on Switch?
Yes,
All games.
I mean, it really actually would fit great on there.
Yeah.
So yes, I would love for it to be on Switch. Should be on Switch.
Cool.
What
else?
Far Cry 5.
How do
Been
you
playing
feel
that.
about Far Cry 5?
I think this
Use your words.
I will. I'll come up with them. I could care. I could not. Logan always gets me on this. I could not care less about the story. I think it's completely boring. There's no relationship with the villains or anything. I find it quite dull in that regard. It doesn't keep my attention at all. And it does this thing where like when you reach certain milestones in the region where you build the resistance up to a certain point, the game literally pulls you out of what you were doing and forces you to play this narrative-driven mission with cutscenes and stuff. It takes all your items away from you and gives you, well, usually throws you in an area with nothing, and then you have to collect stuff as you play.
And it does it through like the same like Deus Ex Machina, right? Like you got drugged again.
Yeah, or you were kidnapped. Like the first time it happened, these waves of bad guys just came and until I couldn't hold them off anymore, and then dragged me away to this compound. So I really don't like that at all. I feel like it goes against the tagline in all the commercials I see is like, anything can happen, everything will. And when those mandatory story missions happen, it's like, guess what? You don't get to do anything. You have no say in this situation at all. And I don't like that at all. The world itself, very fun. I like running around and shooting and blowing things up. Co-op is kind of cool, minus the lack of shared progression. The co-op's very, very fun. Logan and I played it together. He killed a buffalo with an airplane. Like flew into the buffalo. Didn't shoot the buffalo. Flew into the buffalo, and took it up in the air with him for a little bit.
Oh man,
it was fun. So the co-op's fun. The world's fun. The story is
bad.
Totally just not keeping me engaged at all. I'm off in the second region now, which is the war. His name's Jacob, I think. The war-themed brother. It's like mountains, and that was where I left off. Haven't touched it in about a week. I was playing Minute and some other stuff, so it's fun. It's cool.
Playing some other stuff, yeah.
Other stuff.
Yeah. Nabashin,
Aww.
you also played Far Cry 5. Did you listen to the most recent Frame Trap?
I did, yes.
Where they talked about that. I thought Huber and Ben had a very good conversation about Far Cry 5 on Frame Trap. You should go listen to that if you have not gotten the chance. If you are not a fan of Easy Allies, go check it out. In that, like the thing that they talked about was bridging the gap between open world gameplay design and open world narrative design. It seemed like the narrative of Far Cry 5 is not designed like an open world narrative. It is designed like whatever a single player first person shooter narrative looks like. And between the two shall never mix. It seems like, like they just don't mesh well. And that formatting, also in conjunction with the fact that it's like bad, bad writing, bad characters, whatnot. It just really throws that game off equilibrium.
Yeah,
And that seems like a bummer. But it's like it's a thing that I feel like it's easy to take for granted. Like, for example, like Metal Gear Solid 5 is like, you know, there's really no story in the world, right? All the story that does happen in that game kind of happens outside of it. But like the world is better for that, you know. And it is the time you spend there is more enjoyable for those reasons. And then Witcher obviously gets it, as I'm sure you would say, Namashin. Like it bridges that gap so effortlessly. It makes it look kind of disgustingly easy when it's very difficult. And I've been thinking about The Witcher a lot recently. Witcher 3 specifically.
I never stop.
Yeah, I know. You kind of never stop thinking about it. Of like, I think there would have been a better way to format that game. Not that like, I don't think it's formatted poorly, but like for those people that bounced off of it or just couldn't get through it, like have most of those side quests open up post game, because I feel like I remember a lot of people talking about like, oh, there's no sense of urgency. You're looking for this person, but like it feels like you're not in a rush to find them. Where I was always under the impression that like we already know it's been a few weeks since that person was here, so we're just kind of like
investigating.
You know, we're not taking our time necessarily. I feel like it's a poor choice of words, but we're being methodical, right? And every detail counts because we already know we're so kind of separate from that person. So I didn't necessarily agree with the sense of urgency. And I think when you get into the latter half of that game, and there is a very real sense of urgency, it does a good job of kind of railroading you forward until you can get to post-game. But I was just thinking that maybe if like a lot of the side quests were left for post-game, or they kind of like how they do with some of the side quests where it's like, oh, this is level 35, I won't be able to get to this till much later. And then it ends up you hit about 30 when you finish the game. It's like, okay, now I can go through this stuff. If they had pushed a lot of that to after the game, you might have gotten the best of both worlds, but I don't know. It was just something I was contemplating. Regardless, Witcher 3 does a very good job of making an open world that is both fun to explore, has interesting things to find in it, and also tells a great singular narrative throughout. They figured it out, guys. Just do what they did. Assassin's Creed Origins did it. It worked pretty well for them, you know.
It's weird, right? Like, that's really my complaint about like Far Cry 5, or at least that's the disappointment it is for me. It's like how a game like Assassin's Creed Origins can like mesh the two so well, and then like you see Far Cry 5 and it's like they could do that but they just don't, and that's like a frustrating type of thing. Or at least that's how I think about it. Because like I don't know why I couldn't like get it out of my my mouth when I was trying to say it last time I recorded. But like but that was like was like a frustrating thing. It's like why make it a game that's like that can be memorable by like the stuff that you play of it, but like nothing that like the story gives you, or you know, like God of War is getting like all these praised right now, and like it'll be something that'll be brought up for Game of the Year, but I feel like Far Cry is gonna get forgotten about because like there's nothing really to grab onto it as far as like the actual game that you're playing, or as far as the set pieces in that game itself, but like more of the stuff that you do in the game. And like I was even reminiscing about like Far Cry 3 and why is that game like connected so much more to me than like what Far Cry 5 is doing. I re-looked up Angry Joe's review of that, and like you know, it was just like you could see that like it was just like just a perfect mesh of like the story is just like dumb and insane, but it fits that world so well that like the gameplay and like the story just like has a good marriage with one another. And like it just felt like it felt like something that's a whole. It doesn't feel like there was like one department over here and another department over here and to come together like, hey, let's make a game. That's kind of what Far Cry 5 feels to me, at least. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think I get that too. Like Far Cry 3 had the benefit of it kind of trying to strike that balance for the first time too. you do that 3 times in a row, you're bound to lose something along the way.
I think that's it too. It's like I did play Far Cry 3. I played Far Cry 4. I played some of Far Cry Primal, and now I'm playing Far Cry 5. And like the evolution isn't quite there as far as like gameplay. Like even though this is like the first like fully next gen version of that Far Cry, because like Far Cry 4 was PS3 and 360 as well. It doesn't feel like it's enough. It's almost, I guess it almost is like a Fallout 4 situation with that game. I don't know.
Yeah. Anything else you've been playing, Max?
I replayed God of War 1 through 3 to get ready for God of War 2018.
2018. Dad of Gore, as I've
Dad.
been calling it.
Yes.
How do you feel about those original God of War games?
Played 1 and 2 on PS2, and then replayed 3 on the PS4, the remastered. They all hold up, especially 1 and 2. I think hold up better than I thought they would. 2 is still, between those 3, 2 is still overall the best. 3 though, like, is very satisfying, and just this, you're just on this war path of just blood and murder, and it's great. So there is more satisfying to kill stuff in 3, but 2 overall is just I think a better game, which is kind of interesting because that was the game that Corey did, the director of the new God of War game. He directed 2, so I'm interested to see how those 2 compare overall and just that kind of legacy there. But there's a lot of stuff I don't really playing them so close together. There's a lot of stuff that actually is related. Like one really cool or fun Easter egg, the boat guy. If you remember the boat captain from God of War 1, the Hydra opening, you kick him down in the Hydra and take his key. Then at the end of God of War 1, you see him hanging in Hades, and you kick him off and climb out, and he falls and dies.
Yeah.
He comes back in 2 during the barbarian fight, which is great. And then he has a collectible that you can pick up in Hades and God of War 3. And like I love him. I think that's hilarious.
Best character in God of War, the original trilogy.
Yes. God of War 3 does have more, like, as I guess a better an adult. I realized some stuff they did narratively and mechanically that I don't like at all. Like, I think the fight inside the labyrinth, as it's rotating, there's a part where you're inside the giant box and it like rotates 4 times in the spiky floor.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
It
What
was
about
just
that time where you propped open a door with a lady?
did not age well at all.
Yeah.
Like, that is like
Wasn't
super,
good then, probably.
probably wasn't, but you know, I wasn't comprehending that. I was just like, fine, I'm killing everything, it doesn't matter. But she is like, no, Kratos, no. And you're like, I don't care. I'm going to use you to keep the door open. I was like, oh, you couldn't have just done that with, I don't know, one of the dogs has been chasing you through this whole area or something. Like, you have to brutally murder this woman. That didn't age.
One of the few things I very vividly remember about God of War. Because it was fucked up then to me.
And the other thing that the whole Pandora stuff, like,
Yeah, right?
like the beginning of the game, he's hearing this voice and he thinks it's Calliope, like, once. Calliope. And then he finds out it's this girl, it's Hephaestus's daughter, and he's like, I don't care. Shut up, get me to Zeus. And then it just feels like on a dime, Pandora becomes the only thing that matters to him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no build up to it, and clearly we're just supposed to take it as, oh, he's, you know, envisioning his daughter upon Pandora, and that's why, but like, there's no build up to it at all. And she just is like there. And he suddenly super cares about her, which just seems out of character for Kratos. So I really didn't like that. As far as, they technically did Dad of Gore back at the end of God of War 3, where he's running around with a kid. She doesn't help you at all in any way. She's actually, you have to save her like 3 times from these giant death traps. But it's just that I didn't think that aged very well, or like narratively didn't weave in. I think it's cool how they flipped the concept of Pandora's box on its head, where you killing the gods is actually all the bad stuff that opening the box, and inside the box is hope. I think that was fun. Um, and it's cool, but it's just there were some things that bugged me more in 3 than I thought, but that does not take overall take away from just the joy of chopping off Hermes' leg and then putting on his boots like no big deal, or stabbing Poseidon's eyes out with your thumbs by pushing L3 and R3. Still one of my favorite moments when it dawned on me the first time, when you're pushing in the thumbsticks and what you're actually doing. I thought that was super rad. So there's more push and pull with 3 though for me, but 2 is choice. 2 is a very good game.
What's interesting is, so like 3 is the only one I've played front to back, right? Like I got to Ares, the final boss, in 1, and I was like, this is too hard, I give up. I was a lot younger then, to be fair, way too young to be playing that game. But 2, I like totally bounced off of. Like I got bored halfway through, and I was like, this is boring. Like
2,
I know where it goes, and like I was just
2 has this really great sense of scale and of a journey.
Yes.
Of like actually going somewhere and doing something. I really enjoy that feeling. I think it explores lesser known Greek characters. They saved all of them for 3, like the big dogs. So that was really cool. Like some things, how it ties, like when you find Icarus and take his wings and brutally murder him. And then later you find Daedalus in 3, and he's like building this labyrinth to save his son. And like, he doesn't know that you killed his son.
Let me just flap around real quick.
Yeah, just let him fly around. And it's so interesting to see how those 2 games were built kind of so close, because that was the plan. They had the plan like that set up. So it's cool. 2's very good.
Yeah, I'll never go back to it. I don't know.
You'll never go back, but it's okay.
But yeah, I remember bouncing off it. 3, like I remember enjoying playing and just like not giving a shit about. Like my older brother, who's the one that got me into God of War, he loved it. I mean, and I loved it when I was younger because I love Greek mythology. Of course, I'm watching all of this mythology that I really enjoyed just be literally murdered in front of my eyes. And 3 was the only one that I played at an appropriate age to play it, I would say.
What age was that?
I was like 17 when I played that game, so
You could buy it legally.
I could buy it legally. I might have been 16, but either way, like I was in that area. So like my brother always loved the God of War stories, and I think he still does. I have no idea. I'm sure he's very excited about the new one, but I experienced 1 and 2 through him, kind of watching him play those games, trying to play them, not really digging it. And I wasn't really into that kind of game as well. I was very bad at mashing buttons to do things, which there's a lot of in that game. And I don't know, I played 3. I liked it. It was fun, but I just couldn't care less about anything about it. Kratos could kill everybody and still be angry, and I'd be like, boy, you are just bad. Which is partly why I'm just so excited about the new one, because I like just the reception to that being kind of directly addressed in this is.
When I started the whole replay of the trilogy, the core trilogy, I mean, there's still the other 3 games off the spin-offs, which I enjoyed those too. I'm like a huge God of War fan. For some reason, like I can remember every instance of buying and playing every God of War game. I don't know why the series has stuck with me so well, but like, God of War's been kind of big in my life. But when I started these over, I went back and like looked up reviews for them because I wanted to see how they were taken in at the time when they came out. God of War 1 was Game of the Year for IGN back when it came out, which I didn't realize at the time, but like it was really big for a Western studio to make an action game like that. It's kind of, and the fact that it still holds up mechanically as like a fun game, really kind of cool.
Yeah, it was like, that was the era of Devil May Cry, right? So, very different game. I've kind of learned to appreciate the differences between them. especially like playing Bayonetta now and kind of seeing that like Japanese style character action game. But I don't know, it's so interesting for me to see like the world has literally changed around God of War, and to see it like reacting to that dynamically. I'm very excited about that game. I was already very excited, and I was terrified that I gave a shit about a God of War game, which I've never really done before, but now hearing the reception to it, I'm on board. How about we take a quick break, we come back, we talk about Nobishin's video games. I guess Shenmue 1 and 2 got announced while we were recording. Remastered for PS4.
And Xbox One.
So I guess there's some more remasters to talk about while we do news. And we'll do that when we come back in just a little bit.
Choo.
So Max, you want to keep recording, but we are officially on break.
Yes.
So if you need to pee, which I do,
I will take advantage of all this.
now is the time.
LaCroix.
All right,
LaCroix.
sounds good. Be right back.
All right, Chad, how you doing? How you feeling, people watching?
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. Oh, sorry, we're not there yet, Scott.
Yeah, no. Just want to let you know.
I appreciate you.
So yeah, I forgot how much of an action game Ni no Kuni was.
To be fair, Ni no Kuni 2 plays differently than Ni no Kuni 1.
It does, but Ni no Kuni 1 was also Ni no Kuni 1 was also more actiony as well.
It was more actiony, but like, if you remember, like you would like queue up attack, and it's like, well, this timer runs, my little familiar guy will attack, and now it's just like straight up like third-person action game with a light and heavy attack and stuff. It feels really good though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know anything. I remember the place that I'm in from Ni no Kuni 1. But
yeah, where are you at in the first one?
What? Yeah, in Ni no Kuni 1?
Yeah, in the first one.
I don't fucking know, dude.
I thought
Near
you
the
just said
end.
you remembered where you were at.
No, I remembered where I was at from Ni no Kuni 1.
Got it. Okay. Something Ding Dong Dell, some shit.
Yep. I was like, hey, I remember this place.
Yeah. I'm really excited to like revisit those places and see what they're like now.
What places?
Things from Ni no Kuni.
Ni no no.
Nay, no.
Have you played any of this game?
Have you ever played Ni no Kuni, Max?
I played the demo on PS3 back in the day.
Woo!
Remember wanting to buy it. I think it's literally still in the GameStop app. I think it's still on my wish list.
Wow.
I remember seeing it for $5 a couple of times, but I never bought it. I do remember trying to convince my friends they should buy it because I played the demo and loved the demo so much. I just never was able to afford it when it came out, and then I never went back to it.
You missed out, man. Scott and I were way into that shit.
I hear Ni no Kuni's great.
Yeah, I've gotten to the first save point. So far, so good.
Scott in the chat says Scott White, not other Scott, or Scott Prime, as I like to think of him. Says, any fun plans for the weekend, Alex? Hell no. A fun weekend is a weekend where I don't have to leave my house. IMHO. I'm sorry, Max, if that sounds really depressing.
No, Abby doesn't understand why I like to stay home too.
That's a bummer.
I like staying. Like, I would rather like just hang out, and I do because I work from home. Like, I don't want to go out, but she loves going out.
Well, I mean, here I'll say this to you, because I'd be remiss as a friend of yours not to. If you work from home, you should get out a little bit. Go for walks.
I do. I go on a walk every morning with the dog. I go on a two to 3 mile walk in the woods.
Very nice.
I play ultimate frisbee every Monday night from 6 to 8.
Okay.
So I don't have Abby watches the dog, and I go play ultimate frisbee. So that gives me a break.
I question your sports decision making skills, but
I love ultimate frisbee.
we had a once host, rest in peace wherever you are, Evan, that also loved ultimate frisbee on this show. So
yeah, I like it. Like, I do things to get out.
I do things.
I'm cool. But I would, rather stay here. I'm still waiting for them to announce Billy Hatcher's coming back. Watching the Sega feed, like...
Oh, is Billy Hatcher announced?
I wish. I keep tweeting it.
We haven't talked about Billy Hatcher yet, so...
What is Shenmue, and why should I care?
Shenmue. Now, let me tell you about Yakuza.
Wait, what? That wasn't the game I asked about?
Imagine Yakuza, but not about the Yakuza. Is that what Shenmue is? Namashin?
No.
The people who made Shenmue moved on to Yakuza. More
Okay.
or less.
I feel like I would like Shenmue. I'm glad
I'll play it. I want to see what the fuss is about.
I'm glad I now have the opportunity to know.
I played that game.
You did?
Funnily
Play
Scott?
it on PC.
I did
I
a
bet
while
you didn't
back
like that game
when
I
it
feel.
came out.
Yeah. Scott booting up his Dreamcast, trying to get down with Shenmue.
It was broken. It didn't actually. It didn't work.
God
It
damn.
was,
'Cause what ended up happening is Dreamcast was a bad system.
What? No.
Hot takes coming on during the break.
And by that I mean it was the fastest breaking console of basically all time. Everybody's Dreamcast, at least where I was at, we had not everybody had one, but everybody that did had one, everything just fucking broke.
Damn. Trying to hit Xbox 360 numbers.
Basically.
Mm.
And it was costing them. Sorry, I guess it kind of failed before they could even try to remedy the problem.
Yeah. Probably.
But because everything broke, we just ended up getting everyone's games because stores wouldn't take them back,
Okay.
and they couldn't use them anymore.
So you just got
So I
Shenmue.
had a fucking just about every game that you could have for Dreamcast.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, a lot of them were really good, but at the same time, Shenmue was one of them. I tried it out, and it was broken.
Yeah.
The game itself, I could not play.
Damn. We'll never know.
I think we did a whole lot in the first village you were in, and then after a certain point, when you tried to leave, it just broke. Couldn't do it anymore.
Got it.
It's the only game I ever see Wario 64 actually genuinely excited about, and so that makes me curious.
Michael Huber shed tears for us to have this, and I'm sure his fucking Twitter mentions are blowing the fuck up right now. Man, it really is true that if Huber just wants it, it'll just happen. It's just fucked up for the rest of us. And I bet like he feels like that responsibility to someone. He's like, I gotta start wanting shit for other people, man. I gotta start looking out for the little guy.
Whoever it is, this person you know.
Yeah.
Mention Billy Hatcher to them.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Or Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Basically, you know what? If they could just take the GameCube and just do this thing called like a virtual console or backward compatibility, you know what Xbox calls it. You know, if they could just put that on the Switch, we'd be in business.
I'll drop a word when I get the chance.
Drop him a line. I would like to phone a friend.
Got it. You guys ready?
Born ready.
Yep.
And we're back. Hey, now, Shane, welcome back.
You welcome back.
I'd love to be welcomed back with some video games of yours. What you been playing?
So I have like the weirdest like 2 weeks probably I ever had with video games.
Dude. I've been fucking following your tweets religiously.
Your what? His what?
His twits. Tell me about it. I want to know. Take me into the world of Mass Effect.
It's a garbage world. You don't want to be there.
Listen, man, we don't talk about the other one.
I'm talking about 1.
Oh, well. We're talking about 3, actually.
I could see that based off the notes, but I'm just massive. I'm not big into Mass Effect based off what I've played.
You're about to be. I got bad news for you.
I'm buckling up.
Let's start where the story starts. Last week.
God, what was I last week? Like the last time I recorded, like I think I just beat the Omega DLC, so it was like I was like literally like I was like not dreading, but it was like oh god, this is finally coming to an end. Like I'm about to like beat these games. And then like so yeah, I finally did that. I did the mission. Went to not Horizon. Well, I did Horizon. Horizon was the first place you go. Then you go to the Elusive Man's office, where his thing is at. Horizon was Miranda's father's mission.
Yep.
But then you go to the Elusive Man thing. So you found out you don't know if you're. I'm just trying to remember it now. Like you go in there. He's already gone. You're getting ready to go. The Crucible is you found out it was part of the Citadel. So it's like, oh, okay, so the Citadel's where everything is at. So we have to go back to the Citadel. Kai Lang shows up. You have your little mini fight with him. Then you stab Kai Lang at the end.
Kai Lang, man. God damn it. All right, go on. Continue.
I'm spoiling Mass Effect 3, by the way.
It's happening.
Oh no.
Then you go to Earth, and then like so like this is funny too, cause like you know, like cause it's been so long since I've actually done this that like you know I remember the beats of everything, but I just don't remember the sequence of events. No, I know the sequence of events is more of like I know like hey, you go to Earth, you fight the Reapers, and then you go to the Citadel, then the ending, and that's it. And so like. Yeah, that's the beats I remember, but like, you know, the details is what I forgot. And it was like, like when you say goodbye to your crew, like one at a time, stuff like that. Like talking to Garrus, it's like he's like, hey man, like if you die, if we're both dead, and like you don't know where to go, just meet me at the bar. If there's a heaven, like meet me at the bar, and I'll be there, and then we'll buy drinks and we'll just like chill out together. I'm like, fuck yeah, Garrus. Like I forgot about that. Yeah. And it was like Liara with her gift for you, with like her it's like this is like something I just exchange with my friends, or or if you romance it, you'll be your lover, and it's like this is how I say goodbye to someone close to me. Like you go through that little black hole thing with her, so that was like a real cool thing. Javik, if you talk to him like and go through his entire like not loyalty, but like if you talk to him like frequently, he eventually tests his shard and like he remembers everything about like what his past life used to be. Like all the good stuff, like, oh, it was like a beautiful world for Protheans and stuff like that, and like all the bad stuff, like, oh, the Reapers came in and they destroyed everything. And so he says, like, hey, after this mission is done, I'm pretty much just gonna kill myself. And I was like, wow, that's dark. Yeah.
Like, damn, Jav. Weren't like the Protheans like way into slavery too?
Yeah, like they were they ruled the galaxy.
Yeah.
And like everyone was savages or primitives. That's what he said. Primitives. You are primitives. So like like everyone was pretty much below him, and so like coming to this new society where all the primitives are like the dominant species, and his species is completely extinct. Him being literally the last one is like it weighs on him, and it's like it's interesting and fascinating. So like he pretty much said he's gonna off himself at the end of this. I'm like, okay, damn, dude. And then like
damn, dude, fucking keep it. How about you ruin the mood a little bit more, dude?
Dang, dude. And then like Edie like finding out like having more, like she's already AI and everything like that, so like she's like having more of an opinion of like what's happening, so she's more self-aware of stuff and like having own opinions and not like just like, oh, I'll do like self-preservation and stuff like that. Is more of like, hey, I care about Jeff, I care about you, I care about my crew. So it's like I'm doing this to the death. Like whatever happens, like I want this to end. I want to get rid of these Reapers because they disgust me. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And then like going to Tally, and it was like, fucking shit, man. I forgot about this whole fucking thing. Like she comes to you and it's like, hey man, I'm with you to the bitter end. Like I've been with you since Ilium. I've been with you since the suicide mission. Like we're in this together. And then she's like, hey, do you remember the last thing we said to each other when we were at Radnock, and you destroyed the Reaper for me? And I was like, I said Keyless a lie and you said I love you. And it was like, fuck, I forgot all about that. I was like, I forgot all about that like little side conversation. It's like, I want more time. It's like, yeah, I know. And then you go through the town, you go through London to get to the inn. You meet the soldier who's in the watchtower from the original trailer for Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, that dude just hanging out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're that dude. So that's funny. I'm sorry if this is long-winded, but like I wanted to get this out of my system. But then like then you get like to the end. You go through London, you get to the part where you have to launch missiles at the Reaper, which is like blocking like everything before you can get to the beam. And then like
this is like where like the missiles like moving up and you're defending that point, right?
Yeah, you're defending that point, and like that's with Banshees and Brutes, like every fucking thing just comes
literally
to you all at
all
once.
All the things coming out, yeah.
Yeah, and that part is like brutal.
Yeah.
So you do all that, and then like right after that part is like, okay, we're going straight to the beam. And like, okay, we're going straight to the beam. And it's like this part on, it's like, God, I forgot everything. So like this is when I was like going to Twitter, like, I'm freaking the fuck out because I forgot all this shit. Because this is pretty much all the extended cut stuff. But I also remembered the original way he did it too. So it's like I'm having like both those memories like clash into my mind while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. So you're like straight up running into the beam. It's like straight into the beam. Like explosions and all this shit around you. Then it immediately goes to a cutscene where like you see your crewmates that you brought along with you, running with you, and then like a truck explodes next to them, and then like one of them gets knocked down and he's like completely all bloodied up and stuff like that. And the other one goes help them. Then you call Joker down to like come pick him up. So he like comes in the middle of this battlefield and drops down. This is the extended cut version, by the way. comes down to the battlefield. And like you let your crewmates go onto you. If you have your love interest with you, that's the last goodbye that you give them. So that's another like thing is like, oh my god, I forgot about this shit. And it's like it's so like you have your one little moments like go on just like live a life and like just not necessarily forget about me, but like I need you to live so you can live for me type of thing. And then you say bye to them and you separate, and that's like heart wrenching and shit. Reaching out for you while you're going on the way as they fly away. And then you continue running to the beam. Then you get the big blinding light, and then like you did this little slow, like you're walking up, you're all battered and bruised and everything.
Corpse section.
Yeah, you're all battered and bruised, and you're going towards the beam very slowly. Husk comes at you one at a time. You shoot them down. Then fucking Marauder shields come out from the corner.
Oh, fucking Marauder shields! How could I forget?
Marauder shields, and like I remember like. Playing this on Insanity, I forgot like on Insanity.
All the memes just come flooding back to you,
dude. It was literally impossible to beat him in Insanity, and I played it in Insanity. I did it twice because I did it on PS3, I did it on 360. Going to that last Marauder Shields boss fight, that shit was fucking impossible because like you had to do it in a certain way. You couldn't fuck up once, and you fuck up once, you're instantly dead. And it was like it was insanity. And I remember it took me like hours to do that. Just that one part. This is shoot fucking Marauder shields. So like so all these memories are flooding into me, and I died like 2 times going against them. I'm like, God, why is this still so fucking hard? But like whatever. Going up the beam, you see all those processed humans around you, stuff like that. You see the keepers who are like supposed to be something bigger, but they just aren't. Or if there were something bigger, which they kind of alluded to in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, they didn't really get to it in Mass Effect 3, unfortunately. So like we don't really know the deal with them, but we know that they're involved with Reapers, but not exactly there.
Yeah.
Or not exactly spelled out, I should say. And you're going up, and then like you see Anderson there. Anderson is like acting weird. He's indoctrinated, and then like you suddenly feel like you're getting like all woozly and stuff like that. Then the Lucid Man comes in. You see him looking all husky and stuff like that because he had like the black stuff coming down his neck and stuff like that. So it looks like something like he kind of looks like Venom basically. He looks like Venom. Then you're talking to him. You eventually persuade him, and feel like you like been talking to him like throughout the game, like saying like, "Hey, join me," or like, "Hey, stop fucking up," basically. And then he shoots himself similar to like Saren did, because like you just talk to them, and it's like okay, and then like, cause like all this shit is so good like, at this point, and it's like so like you know, Hackett is like sending out the Crucible, they're merging with the Citadel. That whole thing is happening, and then like you're sitting next to Anderson, you have this beautiful moment with him where it's like you're just looking out in the stars and just like, fuck man, we did a lot. And I'm so tired. I just need to go to bed. And then Anderson dies. And then like it's like okay.
And then you're like, and then the game ends, right?
And then it keeps going. You eventually get risen up, and then you talk to the Star Child, and it's like it's weird, and then like he fills you with like exposition, like who he is, like we're basically what designed the Reapers. I'm the essence of like the Reapers' existence or their memory or whatever it is. It's like something about like, hey, this is the thing. I am what the Reapers are, and like through all these years of all these cycles and stuff like that, we've always seen that like synthetics and organics are just like destined to fight each other or whatever. So like this is what we do. So like what we do is like we get rid of all the organics and like them restart anew. That's how we feel the solution to this problem is. And this is that Leviathan DLC thing. So it's like, oh, that's where you first started with Leviathan, and you're bringing it over here. So it's like, okay, that's weird. And it's like, it's like so much stuff, dude. And it's like, it's the dumbest shit ever.
Like, how do you feel? Because another part of like the extended cut is like there's a lot more dialogue added with Starboy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that stuff? Like so far removed now, just like that conversation. I guess.
Cause it's weird because like literally I just went through all these games, and it's just like it feels really jarring and really out of nowhere. Even after like the instant cut, where they're trying to put more context into it and stuff like that, it feels very jarring and out of nowhere. It feels like one of those things where it's just like you're just having like this really great experience, and then like it's just like a hard right turn to something that's like not necessarily bad, but just like just weird and off-putting, and just like this it's just different.
I think like in my head, part of like, because my perspective has gone like back and forth a lot on Mass Effect 3's ending since I beat it. Like, there are so many really great conversations you have with AI throughout that game that are really engaging. Like the first time you talk to Sovereign, right, is like one of the moments of that entire franchise for me. And it's just like, no, I am who you're fighting. It is like this revelatory moment, but it's also like terrifying. And then I forget his name, the guy
Harbinger?
that you talk, not Harbinger, the AI on the Prothean world. Vigil, yeah. Like the conversation that you have with him, and it's like I feel like it's framed very similarly to in that game to like the Star Child conversation, but I feel like Vigil is like such a more illuminating conversation. Mostly because that's more of a program than it is an AI. But then you think about like all the conversations you then have after all of this with EDI, and how that relationship like becomes a relationship and evolves. And then you get to the end, and there is like this very one-sided feeling to this Starboy.
Exactly, and that's so weird. Cause I literally just like united the Geth in the quarry, and I talked to Edie like constantly, and like
even like Legion, all the conversations you have with him feel so enlightening, like really interesting. Whereas like I feel like the Star Kid is just like he is like exposition. I feel like that conversation it's not a conversation. He's just like telling you stuff.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, and it's like even Shepard is like at the time even questioning it, it's like you're not really giving me a choice here. You're just telling me things, and I've done these things. I've done things to like actually like say like, hey, synthetics are more than what they appear to be, and like even organics are more than what they appear to be, and like there can be this kind of union thing. Like the Geths are literally helping the Quarians right now to like survive. I'm not gonna survive without their suits right now. So it's like it's a weird thing. But anyway, so eventually, the Star Child just like pretty much asked like, "Do you want to pick PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch?" And like,
you're like, "Yo, I'm fucking Switch all day." Or you can shoot him. He's like,
or you can shoot him. Yes.
You're like, "I'm a PC gamer," and he's like, he's not ready for it. It's like, "You have chosen."
And it's like so like I said, I'm sorry I'm taking this whole fucking thing, but it's like it's so weird because like you pick Destroy, which is the red one, and that will like destroy all synthetics in the world. So I would destroy the Reapers. I would and also kind of destroy you apparently, and it'll also take out Edie and also take out the Geth. So it's like you could do that, or you can choose Control, which is blue, which is like everyone is pretty much saved. The Reapers would still exist, but like your consciousness would be inside the Reapers. Or you could pick Synthesis, which was the green one in the middle, and that was like all synthetics and organics will fuse together.
It was like, no, we've got backwards compatibility, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, thank God.
And like obviously Destroy is not something I want to do. I like I like E, I like the Geth and all the other stuff. And like Synthesis just felt like didn't feel right to me, just because it just doesn't. It just feels like a weird.
Feels like a cop out, Yeah,
it's a weird solution to a problem that I more or less am willing to work through, because like I said, I worked through this. I talked to these people, and it's all about having a conversation. You have the conversation with them, and like there can actually be some peace if you work for it.
It also like it feels like something Shepard wouldn't do. Like I feel like he wouldn't make that decision for everyone. You know, like he would opt out. So
and so like I went with Control, which is then
you changed it. You changed your Mass Effect canon.
Yeah, Because it was
How does
synthesis.
it feel to be free?
Because it was synthesis for like the longest time, and like
they were like, this is the right one.
yeah, because like it's literally like you have to get your Galactus readiness up to the certain level to even have that unlocked as an option. So it was like, you know, it's a weird way of the game telling you like this is the way of it should be. But like yeah, I went with control because you die regardless.
Yeah.
But at least me dying this way, like the people I love are saved. Like I don't have to kill Geth, I don't have to kill Edie. The people I love, Tally, Yara, Garrus, and all the rest of them are like still alive. But I just have to be this entity inside of Reapers now, and like that's a good sacrifice I felt. So I went with that. And then like you know that the whole rest of the ending ended, and it's like
It's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. You're like, why are the mass relays destroyed? Like, what?
yeah, they changed that in extended cut too.
Yeah, they're like, we're fixing it now. It's like, all right, okay. Why
Yeah.
did you just break him in the first place?
It's really weird, dude. And it's like they they break, and like you see they actually explode, and like you see it, and like what, and like after people play the Arrival DLC, like what did you expect them to think? It's like that killed Batarians. That killed the whole. That almost made the Batarians extinct. They're super rare in like Mass Effect 3. So it's like, what else was I supposed to think?
Yeah.
And like even in the original game, like after that you see Joker like flying off, and like it was like the Normandy was about to explode. He lands, and then like you're on this wild planet, and then like it just like a hard cuts right after that, and then it's like that was the end of the original ending.
Yeah.
And then then you get like, oh, tell me more about the Shepherd to like Buzz Aldrin and shit like that.
Fucking Buzz Aldrin.
Oh god, man, that's so weird. And then like after that, it was like they give you a message saying like, oh, get ready for our DLC, which was weird because like the main thing I remember like from way back then when that original ending was like that, I remember having a conversation with people, and they were saying like, oh, I can't wait to go save my crew. And I was like, no, you're dead.
And you're like, dog, no, that's not what the DLC is.
But yeah, like after this, like they do like a little tribute thing with Shepard, like like it was showing like them like putting a plaque on that memorial thing that they have on the Normandy, like actually like putting Shepard's name on there, along with Anderson's as well. Like, and you have your crew all around them, like being sad and stuff like that, and you were seeing like the future of everything else, like how the Krogans are doing, how like the Quarians are doing, how like some of your old crewmates were doing and stuff like that. So like man, it was fine, but like, man, it was just like so many feelings were just like popping off right then and there, and I was like, I need a fucking break. So I didn't play that game for like another like 2 or 3 days after that. But yeah, that was my experience with Mass Effect 3, and then I played Citadel, and I felt all better. I felt really good. I felt
still great.
Yeah, Citadel's so fucking amazing. It still made me feel like cause like I'm so glad I played it that way too. Like, oh my god, I'm glad I played it that way, cause like I felt so good with that goodbye with Citadel than I felt with the goodbye in like the original ending for Mass Effect 3, even with the extended cut. So like Citadel makes a very good send off to like these characters and what they are and what they're doing. Like when Katie eventually gets to Mass Effect 3, I will let her like do like the extended cut and original ending, and then like I'll tell her to play Citadel right after that, because I feel like she'll be like very conflicted at the very end of that, and then like go off on a feel good thing, do that, dance with Garrus and shit like that. You'll feel really good after that. So
yeah, what I like too, like, Citadel has the party scene, which I think is great, but I also think like the first half of Citadel is very good.
Oh, it's
like,
very good.
It's like this dumb action movie spin-off thing with Shepard clone is really good. Like, it's really fun and self-aware in a very enjoyable way. So
yeah, Mass Effect 3, I finished that whole trilogy, and like, god, do I feel like I said, after finishing it with Citadel, like I feel really good about it. I feel really strongly about it. I love that series to death.
It's a good thing there's only those 3 games and nothing else.
Yeah, it makes me feel really good, and god, did I love that experience.
There doesn't need to be another Mass Effect game.
No, there doesn't.
That's all I'm saying, Max. Ugh, bad news.
Isn't there that
We don't talk. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't talk
Anthem?
about
Anthem. I'm not Anthem.
that.
The
Yeah,
new
Anthem.
game.
That's
It's
a
not-
great Destiny Mass Effect game. Gonna
Not
be
in
great.
trouble at all.
Yep. We'll see.
But yeah, that was the Mass Effect trilogy. Very.
Did you play
I
it-
highly
did you
recommend
play- Did you play on Wii U?
Yeah. Did you play? Oh man, that fucking Wii U version of Mass Effect 3, huh?
Deepest cuts.
I'm glad I could relive Mass Effect 3 Notion.
I'm glad I finally know what the fuss was about the ending. Apparently,
You get to
I
choose
guess-
Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, man.
I guess the fuss really is you die either way and you had no choice in the matter. Because I like the sound of those choices, of like the options of your actions. I guess dying either way was what made people upset.
Well, the big thing about it is it sounded the way the options are presented. It sounds like they make more impact on the end than they actually show.
That was the fuss.
It's more like, the options are presented like very plainly and very poorly, and then it's like, well, this has huge repercussions, but also these are very, very similar outcomes.
Got it.
And it makes it a game all about choices coming up to like, okay, here's the last big choice. It kind of doesn't really matter, or it feels like it in the moment, especially with how it originally ended. They make it matter more
That's
after with like the stuff they added to it.
And Andromeda, I mean, in the DLC?
No, that doesn't exist, so we don't talk about that.
The DLC doesn't exist?
In Citadel, Citadel like takes place before the ending. So
Is that in the Wii U version?
I actually don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think they have DLC on the Wii version.
Yeah,
I thought the Wii U version was the full.
I got bad news. There was a Wii U version of a game that wasn't the full complete version of the game. Let me tell you about Arkham City fucking Armored Edition. Let's actually not.
Speaking of Arkham City, I beat that game for some reason.
Really?
Played that on?
Yeah. Like
You got this Wii U kick, huh?
not that version. I played the PS4 version, but like yeah, like I beat Arkham City. Like I just randomly started it up. I was like, oh, I'm close to the end of this game. Let me beat it real fast, and I beat it again. So I was like, oh, okay.
Great.
Yeah, the game's awesome. Fucking love it. Love that ending. Love all that. Arkham City is like my favorite of the trilogy. So yeah.
Mine as well. What else have you been playing, Nobshin?
I beat a Sir's Wrath.
Hell yeah! Did you
Platinum
beat
that. I platinum that
Oh, you
motherfucker.
beat platinum? Congratulations.
Yes. Hard mode, all that shit, all S's.
HUDless, all that bullshit.
It's still really good. Like,
How hard did you burst in the end?
it was so hard, dude.
Fucking so good. The end of that game is perfect.
Oh yeah, I streamed the entire thing too. So,
Even if
like,
you have to buy the end of that game, it's still perfect.
it is. It really is. Like I said, it's personally for me, like it's my favorite dad game. It's just like those emotions in that game are like next level shit. As far as like what he goes through for his daughter, and I just really love like just a simple thing of his daughter crying is just brings so much of a wrath to him, and it's like anybody just like that fucking does it is fucking dead to him, and like he just goes to the ends of the earth just to not have her cry anymore, and it's very emotional. It's very good, very very good. Other than that though, I speed ran Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I beat that game in 3 hours, and then I got the platinum for it.
Okay.
Damn, that's a long game too. Was that hard?
Not really.
Did you play it on easy?
No, I played it on Crushing.
Really?
Yeah.
You speedrun it? Jesus.
Yeah. There's Uncharted has the weirdest fucking thing. It's like so like when you aim, like the camera like goes to a certain way.
Yep. Yeah.
So like if you're close to a wall and you just keep spamming the aim button, you just like clip through walls.
Oh.
Okay.
So, like,
you took that somewhere else. I didn't think you were going.
So
Okay.
you like legit speedrun hacks this fucking game.
Yeah, like they showed how to, like they showed like the speed run like of someone beating it in like 50 minutes. So like I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do with that.
I
And
can
then-
do that.
they showed that on IGN, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll give it a shot. And it's like, oh, okay, and like I don't have the crushing trophies. Like I guess I'll try to do that real fast, and I did it in like 3 hours. So okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives me hope that maybe I'll get the platinum in that game.
I went back and platinum those games before 4 came out. That was fun.
Yeah, but you did it like the legit way, and I'm sure it was miserable to play Uncharted 1 on crushing.
I did that the legit way. It's hard.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah, Max, just for point of reference, I got to the ship, the very last level, on crushing. And you keep on the PS3 version, so you have to beat the game on hard mode to unlock crushing mode. And then my PlayStation 3 yellow lighted. I've never played Uncharted 1 since then. I don't think I ever will again.
I can relate to that. I had not as bad of a situation, but Skyward Sword, I had just beaten the game, like a final boss beaten demise. And I booted the game up the next day to like go hunt down side quests and stuff and like, go unlock everything. And I was dropping into Skyloft, and my Wii U disc drive died. So I've never gone back to Skyward Sword. Not because I didn't like it. I actually am one of the few that really, really enjoy Skyward Sword. But just like my disc drive broke, and it just sticks in my head.
Skyward Sword has its moments.
Yeah,
Cool
the
stuff.
beginning all the way through the end. Great game.
What a moment. What a 40-hour of dousing moment. Let me tell you about fucking dousing. You can put your sword and stuff, and it'll tell you where it is.
Hey, did you know this is a green rupee? It's worth 1 rupee.
Oh, why don't you douse me a good game?
Why don't you fucking douse me a good game?
Oh,
Bomb
all right.
bowling.
I'll leave it alone now.
No, I like Skyward Sword. I just have a great amount of issues with it.
I love it more than the average Joe.
Fair enough. I gave that game a 10 on IrrationalPod.com. So.
A lot of people gave it 10s. I feel like a lot of people would not give it a 10 now.
True.
I can say about a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. What else, Nobtion?
God of War 3 Remastered. I just started that up again. I wanted to try to go through that again before.
Hence the opening of the show.
Yeah, sure.
Did you enjoy gouging Poseidon's eyes out?
Yeah, that's still good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Very
Game
good.
of Thrones, as Nicole in our chat would call it.
I remember when I first got that again, and like I wrote a monthly patches about it, and like for some reason the vibes were just not there with God of War 3, and it was just like, like I don't think I like this anymore. Like I'm older, I'm wiser. This just seems dumb and weird. So like I wrote a whole monthly patches about like,
Yeah, I remember.
hey man, you God of War, it's not you, it's me. Like, we should
I
just
grew
break
up.
up.
You didn't.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it a little bit more now. I guess
Now
I'm
now
not too
Kratos has a beard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now he's older and wiser.
He looks good with the beard.
He looks very good with a beard.
I'm hesitant to ask, Nobtion, because I've asked you this a lot, and I don't want to set any expectations.
Mm.
Now, post Thursday, embargo for reviews for God of War. And I assume you haven't watched or really read much, but where are you at with interest for God of War?
Oh, I'm very interested. I've always been interested. I was media blackout for it for a reason.
Last time I asked, though, you described or you compared your interest in God of War to your interest in Far Cry 5. This was a few weeks ago on this show. In that, like, you were kind of not expecting much.
I guess I got persuaded.
Yeah. I was just curious if that had changed.
That's what a bunch of 10s will do.
Yeah, I like I don't know, like it's not just the scores. It is people are saying the right things about what
Yeah,
the game
exactly.
is shaping up to be. Like how it is addressing its lineage in a way that is like poignant. So.
I kind of skimmed through Patrick's review because I remember Patrick really liking God of War 3, but like knowing what kind of person he is now, not dissing him or anything like that. Like
He's grown a lot. He's changed.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. And like just like skimming through what he had to say about it, like made me really interested into it.
I didn't watch it. I found out there's a place where you can read Easy Ally's reviews on their website. You don't have to watch the video.
Oh, that was the one I did do. I
read
I
Huber's
turned on the video for it, but I just didn't watch it.
Oh, you
and
just
like
listened to it? Yeah.
Yeah, and listen to
I was thinking
Huber's
about
review.
doing that as well.
Mhm.
I fucking love the end of that review. Fucking take me to Valhalla. But yeah, that was a really good review as well. I love the tagline from that review of like, God of War doesn't just push its franchise forward; it pushes the whole video game industry forward. It really stuck with me. Also, just to know that motherfucker just gets everything he wants. He was so excited. He was so ready for it to be good, and God damn it was. But yeah, I'm really excited about that game. Also, like that Patrick Klepek piece on Waypoint, which I have not read personally, that made George Cruz go from boy, this game looks bad to fuck, I have to play this game. Which is the greatest heel turn I think of any of us. He was like super not interested in that game even after seeing everything for it, and that single piece convinced him to.
What was the headline
check
of
it out.
Patrick's piece?
I don't remember. Do you remember, Navshin?
Not top of my head.
I'll find it.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad you are as well. We will have a conversation about it, I'm sure. God of War triumphs because it confronts its own bloody legacy. This is Klepek's review.
Triumphs. Oh, he reviewed it. Okay.
Although they they don't do scores. It's more of like a thought piece.
Like Kotaku.
Anything else you've been playing that you want to talk about?
Some quick fire ones are more Burnout Paradise. That's fun. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt that had finally got his HDR patch on PS4, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. I took pictures of Yennefer and Trish, and I felt good. Started Metal Gear Solid and didn't get too far into it yet. Just like pretty much just got to the helipad part, and that's it. Getting ready to dive deep into that, so that's really fun. And Red Dead Redemption got a 4K thing for Xbox One X, so like I bought that game on Xbox One X and started playing that, and I'm like about 4 or 5 hours in. That game's still real great. It's real great. It's real great in the same way I feel like The Witcher 3 is great. Obviously it's not as fleshed out as The Witcher 3. Like you're still going back to the same people over and over again. But like I feel John Marston is a very, very, very good character, and like I think he really carries that game through all its GTA bullshit, I guess you could say. Yeah. Just the kind of man he is. That like he's not a good man. No, he is a good man. He's a good man who has a bad past, and like he's just trying to redeem himself from that, and like just doing what he can for his family. And I really admire that, and I really appreciate that. And I think there's a reason why people talk very, very highly about like Red Dead Redemption more than like like GTA 4, for example.
Yeah,
and that's everything I've been playing.
For reference, you did a Twitter poll. I referenced it a lot earlier. You did a Twitter poll asking like, "Hey, I just beat Mass Effect. I'm all fucked up. What big of my favorite franchises should I go back to?" And Metal Gear Solid 1. I did vote for Kingdom Hearts. I just want to reiterate that. I know I said it earlier, but I wanted to bring it up again because I'm still salty.
I mean, like, I should play Valkyria Chronicles. The sequel's coming out later this year.
Yeah,
I should play
September. You get
I should play a lot of things, but like, I've been thinking about Metal Gear a lot. I've been thinking about Metal Gear. I've been thinking about Metal Gear since I started Fresh Out the Dome. Like, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been like about like how that game makes me feel, and like it makes me feel real good. That's a weird sentence I just said, but like
that sounds real good.
But like it makes me feel a lot of things, and like just the way how that overall story is told up to Peace Walker for me. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed that series so much. Like I can't wait to get Snake Eater again. But like yeah, I'm jonesing to play more Metal Gear, so that'll be my weekly thing.
I did I did the whole franchise leading up to 5, so it's still pretty fresh for me. So I'm curious.
You guys gonna dive into that Metal Gear Survive?
Boy, Max, don't you know a lot about Metal Gear Survive?
way more than anyone should know about Metal Gear Survive.
I was writing that guide, huh? That game broke you. You told me that.
It's a game that I grew to hate very, very much. Like going in, I knew it'd suck, but I was like, I'll take the job. Like, yeah, I'll work. That's fine.
War's changed.
Max has changed. Ugh.
I'll never play that game now.
It's to kind of sum it up.
Okay.
To really finish that guide, to get it in a really solid place, I kind of decided there's these two post-game bosses that are literally monsters. Like, one's a T-Rex with guns for a hand, and another one's a giant floating ice squid.
That sounds all right.
Sure, the concept and the fights themselves are cool and fine, but their appearance is RNG. Like, their location isn't, but when they appear is. And that,
Okay.
so I fought the first one. His name's Big Mouth. That's the
Okay.
T-Rex with the gun for hands.
He doesn't look much like a T-Rex. I'm looking at a picture right now.
He's got like a dinosaur-y like thing.
Sure.
Anyway, after he popped up, the other guy appeared. Frostbite, I think was his name. But he's 10 levels higher. And so I needed to grind, which is atrocious in that game, to get high enough level. And then when I finally got to a level I felt comfortable fighting him at, I went back and he was gone. I was like, crap. And then I just had to keep waiting. And then Reddit helped me figure out how to make him appear a little bit faster to kind of somewhat control the RNG. That game is something. It's a game.
It's a
Konami
video
did
game.
something.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, dude, it is bad.
Isn't there like a Lord of the Smoke? monster in that?
Dust, Lord of Dust.
Uh-huh. What's
He's
he,
the
what's
main-
his business?
He's the main narrative villain, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, do you want this story
I
spoiled?
just I want to know what the Lord of Dust deal is.
Basically, your base is in the center of this map. I forget the name of the world. You're there, and then on the outskirts is this literal dust cloud, where when you go in there, you have no map, and you have to explore completely blind, essentially. That's called the dust.
Yeah.
And then the Lord of Dust controls all of that, and it's like a hive mind thing. So all the monsters you fight, they all share one mind. That's the Lord of Dust.
Got it.
So your mission is to kill the Lord of Dust.
How was that?
How to kill him?
Yeah, no, I mean just how was the experience of killing the Lord of Dust? He's a big worm man.
Oh, way lamer than it could have been, because you do a mission where you get a Metal Gear, like you save Sahelanthropus, you extract it and bring it back to your base. And I thought, a la Metal Gear Solid 4, you'd fight in the Metal Gear.
Yeah.
You do not.
You just initiate a cutscene and then Metal Gear kills him.
Even worse, you initiate a cutscene and his railgun fires. The Metal Gear doesn't even stand up or activate. You just shoot the gun.
In a
It just
direction.
shoots. You
Oh, look,
aim.
Got him, I guess.
You got him, but you honestly could have just taken the gun. You didn't need to get the Metal Gear.
Big boy.
And don't worry, to get the Metal Gear, you only had to do a 16-minute wave defense all by yourself.
It sounds like you really like this game.
10 out of 10.
How about we switch gears, Max? Will that make you feel better?
Yeah, I brought that up. I brought that on myself.
It's all right. Assuming you're done with video games now, Michelle.
I am.
Video games are good.
There's
Actually.
a lot of them.
We talked a lot about video games. We should talk at least a little bit about this. News.
What happened? What is that noise?
The most important thing is that they are remaking Spyro.
Just letting you know that was almost muted on our side.
Oh, good. I try to make it loud.
I heard very soft music.
I think what it was it coming through my headphones.
Mm.
This is very loud for me. There's
Oh,
a-
Well-
okay.
My mixer went to Boston and back, so
Spyro.
some buttons probably got pushed. Spyro the Dragon.
Abby's very excited.
Listen, man, I fucking love those 3 Spyro games.
I
on
love
PlayStation
Spyro.
1. Fucking Ripto's Rage. Fuck me up, fam.
Yeah.
The third one's the best one.
You're the dragon.
You get to play as a penguin with a jetpack. It's very good.
I thought the most interesting thing was that it's not the same studio that did Crash.
Yeah, it's
Toys for
Life.
Bob,
Toys
which-
for Bob.
Did Spyro all Skylander stuff. So I mean, they're the company that helped, besides Activision, obviously, that helped bring Spyro back into prevalence. But
Yeah.
they also get to remaster his original games, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I think it is safe to say, in my opinion, that the other studio was at
Couldn't tell you. But I feel like it starts with a
Crash
V.
Studio.
Curious.
Vicarious Visions. They are making a new Crash Bandicoot game.
That wouldn't be so bad, especially now that Crash is coming to Xbox and Switch, which just, I don't know, to me feels weird. Like, I told Abby, Abby prefers the Xbox controller and just like playing on Xbox. I told her though, I said, we're getting Spyro on PlayStation. It just doesn't feel right. It feels criminal.
It's funny too, because like, you know, so it was honestly a very shrewd move on Sony's hand to be like, hey, we're gonna just buy your exclusivity of Crash for the lineage's sake. So this can look like a thing that we did for our fans. But you know, like Crash now coming to everything else just reiterates like, oh yeah, fucking Crash Bandicoot is just an Activision property now.
Yeah. Spyro looks really, really good visually. I'm excited. I can't hear you.
Alex.
1 second. Okay. Oh, he's dead. Murdered. Spyro hype got him.
It's too much for him.
Too much to handle. Abby loves Spyro. She grew up with it. She was excited for it. Do you ever play Spyro now, Mission?
I did. The first game made me aware of motion sickness.
Ooh.
But like you know, like I love that game so much that like I eventually just got used to
He's
it.
alive.
Hi, what about? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
He died.
Great. My recording froze as well. So. Froze at 2:18:26. Does that seem right?
Do you need to be
Probably
counted
about right.
back in?
Yeah, I need to be counted back in. Let me.
Option, you do it.
That was weird.
Sure.
I wonder what happened.
Spyro hype got you. Was our
Yeah,
theory.
it was too fucking reignited. I'm ready when you are, Nabishin.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rad. My record button didn't appear, but luckily, I knew to hit the R key to start recording.
Your record button didn't appear.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I started a new window in Audacity, and it's like missing the part with like the stop, rewind. Blah, blah. Weird. It's probably just some fucking Audacity's back on its bullshit, you know. What were you guys talking about while I was away?
Oh,
Spyro. Yeah, just Spyro.
Spyro, I don't know. I really like those 3 Spyro games. It's the full deal, like the Crash games, first 3 games remastered, 4K. It's coming like straight out on Switch and Xbox.
I don't think Switch has
No
a date
Switch.
yet,
Yeah.
but Xbox does.
Yeah, so September 21st for PS4 and Xbox One.
I'm starting to see the tides move to like more stuff coming on Xbox, and it's making me very happy.
It is cool. I mean, maybe they're working harder on it too. Games, there's a bunch of trailers out there for it. It was weird because like they announced it what last Wednesday, I think.
Something like that.
And there were just trailers for it all over PAX, which started on Thursday. Like they were fucking ready for it.
It's yeah.
It looks good. I love those 3 games. They're made by Insomniac. They are 3D platformers. Like of the PS1 classic games, like I think those first 3 Spyro games blow Crash Bandicoot out of the water. And I've played them as recently as like 4 or 5 years ago, and I think they still hold up very well. So just seeing it all HDified, like of the PS1 games that I'd love to see remade, it's like Tomba and this. Like I think Alundra is the only other game from that era that I really love. But
I'd love to see Frogger 2, Swampy's Revenge.
all right,
For real?
that game was good though.
That game was really good.
A remake of that could be cool. But I've wanted there to be like some kind of reimagining or remaking of the Spyro games for a while, and I've wanted it longer than I ever even considered liking Crash Bandicoot. And that's, I went back and played those games. So I was like, oh, these games are good. But I'm so excited. This is honestly very exciting for me.
Do you think it'll sell more?
Then Crash, absolutely not. I think it'll actually do very well for itself, especially considering it's coming to Xbox and PS4 together.
Do you think Crash was just a moment, or
no? I think there is like a real fucking bunch of crazy people that thought Crash was good. I think there is a possibility that it'll do better than what Activision anticipates, because I think the Spyro games are genuinely very good. Like I think the quality of these games will actually help these games sell better.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any like bullshit moments in the Spyro game. So like,
No.
As far as like, reviewers like, not to put any shade on them or something like that, but saying like, oh, like the game's too hard or something like that. It's like, no, it's just like going through the motions with the Spyro game. So
Right.
like,
Crash is the Dark Souls of the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like there is some bullshit in the side missions in Spyro. Like there's like, I don't know which one it is, but there's like a whole lot of skateboarding missions in one of them.
Sounds rad.
It's something. I don't know if rad is the word I would use, but they are bad, or I remember them not being great. But outside of that, like, I don't think those games are too hard. I think they're actually pretty well balanced.
I think Spyro has potential to sell better just because Spyro now has a modern legacy with Skylanders, and more kids know who Spyro is.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, oh look, it's 3 Spyro games and it's gonna be $40. Like that's and I don't have to buy any toys for my kid. Yeah, I'll do that for them. Like I see that happening.
Yeah, I hope people will give Spyro a shot. I know a lot of people missed the boat on it back in the day, and I think those games are like genuinely excellent. Like the reason I was so excited about the initial not Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank was because it's like, oh, the guys that made 3 Spyro games that you really liked are making a new platformer with new characters. And it's like, oh wow, like I think like the Insomniac lineage is like super heavy in these games.
We just forget Fuse.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
But other than that,
But I mean, they got Spider-Man. It's fun. Speaking of Spider-Man,
it's coming out.
it's coming out September 7th. And Game Informer had their big like cover issue.
September, what a smart move.
Yeah.
Hey.
It is a good month for Spider-Man to rule the roost.
Rule the front half. I imagine tail end of September is when Destiny 2.5 will come out.
Mm.
And then everything will just die whenever Red Dead comes out in October.
Yeah.
Everything's trying to come out before Red Dead.
I didn't even consider
I
Destiny
hadn't
doing
really
another
thought about
thing.
Destiny. And
I didn't consider that. Oh my god.
Man, I bet they feel real shitty about everything right now.
Oh my god. Was Taken King a year after Destiny?
Yeah. It was like a year and 4 days, I think.
Yeah.
Man.
It also
even
they just announced that DLC that's coming out, the second pack.
Yeah.
And in their plan or whatever, they said around September, they're like, and even more planned, like in
yet to be
italics.
more revealed for September.
Yeah, which is going to be AKA 2.5. And don't worry, everyone will pay for what Destiny 2 should have been. At least Destiny 2's post game should have been, and we'll be okay with it.
Dude, like I'm in awe right now because I completely didn't even think about that, and that's crazy to me.
That just sucks for them. Like a whole lot. I honestly think that game will bounce back in a similar way to the first game, but like it's got a lot of other things to compete with now.
It's
I think it'll be fine. I'm Like what I'm shocked about is like I just forgot that's a thing.
Yeah,
Like
everyone forgot about Destiny 2. So.
That's Bungie's problem.
Yeah. I think
it's
about
not-
Destiny 2 every week, and even I forgot that they're probably putting some out in September. So,
And like I think Division 2 is this year too.
I don't know if that's gonna be this year. I
Man,
feel like
I
that's like a February of next
Yeah,
year game.
I can
That'd
see
be
it
a smart.
for-
It will be the most successful if they do it that around that time, I
Exactly.
think.
I feel like Ubisoft has been doing pretty right by stuff. So,
Yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man looks
Spider-Man
dope.
looks great. I was concerned about Spider-Man. I'll say.
I wasn't. As soon as they said it was Insomniac doing it, I knew we were fine because
See, that's
Sunset
what I
Overdrive.
thought. And then I saw that fucking demo with all those goddamn QuickTime events, and I was like, man, this kind of looks like a bummer. But like seeing some of the stuff that they've been showing with Game Informer over the last week, has helped put my mind more at ease. Seeing the combat, it's honestly like very Devil May Cry like.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more Arkham, but it's way more dynamic and improvisational. It's like you could do this and that, and it seems that it can have a flow to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more excited about it now. I
Oh.
still don't. I don't know what the moment to moment of that game is gonna be. Right? Like
Yeah,
you're swinging, and then I guess you're fighting, and then you're stealth. But like I don't know how that game differentiates itself from Batman. And that's the only thing I'm concerned about at this point.
I
But-
think
Yeah.
narratively it'll be the emphasis on Peter because you'll be able to play as Peter. They've even said there's parts where you play as MJ.
Yeah.
Like I think the way because in Batman, at least in the core Rocksteady trilogy, you never really got the Bruce side of things. You did a little bit in Arkham Knight. Gosh, Arkham Knight was so good. But not so much like as direct as you'll be walking around as Peter. So I think narratively that'll be interesting.
Mhm. I do love-
World-wise, I just want to be swinging around and hear there's a bank robbery over here, and I want to just zip over there and stop a bank robbery. I just give me that. What was the Neversoft Spider-Man game or the Spider-Man
Shattered
2?
Dimensions.
No, the Neversoft one on PlayStation
Ultimate
1.
Spider-Man?
Web of Shadows.
Why
No,
are you guys
that
saying all
was-
these games that came out way?
I
I think it's just called Spider-Man
Is it just Spider-Man?
It's just Spider-Man.
by Neversoft,
Okay.
Tony Hawk's company,
Yeah.
the Tony Hawk boys.
The Tony Hawk Boys. Actually, they just make Call of Duty maps now. I got news for you.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, that is genuinely what they do.
That's Neversoft's gig.
They are a support studio for the 3 Call of Duty studios. Them and Ravensoft, whatever the guys that made Singularity. They're 2 support studios for
I did not know that.
the trio of Call of Duty studios. So
I seriously do love the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 1. I think it's a classic.
I did not like that game, but I did like Spider-Man 2 along with everyone else. So I like the Spider-Man 1, the first movie game.
Oh, that was great too. No,
I've played
1
a
and
lot of
2,
that.
1 and 2 are great.
I think 1 was a bad game, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, one was a bad game. You like web slinged on pigeons or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like super buggy.
I remember renting it from Hollywood Video and like playing the crap out of it. That and 2.
I was into Norm Macdonald's narration.
Oh yeah.
Not it wasn't Norm Macdonald. It was
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah, man, Bruce Campbell fucking killed it in those games. Bonestall's ready. I am much like Bonestall ready for Spider-Man to come out. I want to know where that game ends up. I feel like it is less of a sure shot for me personally, just expectation wise, than like God of War is for me.
Yeah.
And I know that's weird saying it after all the reviews and stuff have come out, but like, I have more concerns about Spider-Man, but I think Insomniac has it in them to make a really cool Spider-Man game.
Also,
Yeah.
very sexy steelbook.
I like how they're like, there's gonna be a statue, and we're gonna show it to you at E3.
I kind of like that. Like they show the top of it.
They're like, Spider-Man's gonna be on top of something that you'll see at E3.
Your mom.
Mm.
I think the statue reveal is cool. That steelbook Super nice.
All right.
I'm not even kidding, man. It's that nice red with the white spider.
Like we alluded to a little bit earlier, Destiny kind of like came out and said like, all right, here is the second DLC that the name leaked months ago, blah blah. Fallen Warmind or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think it's just called Warmind.
I don't know. I mean, there's been Warmind stuff in the games and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's...
Comes out May 8th. I have the season pass for that game on both consoles. So
Oh gosh, both.
listen, I made a lot of decisions last December.
boy.
So I'm here for it, man. Like I'm excited. Man, like they've changed so much about that game though. Like it's 6v6 multiplayer now. That whole 4v4 thing that they were like super insistent on, they totally just gave up on it. Things like that. So they're doing Iron Banner again soon. Obviously, Warmind comes out next month, and that will be the beginning of Season 3 is what they're calling it, where they're introducing private matches and multiple emotes at the same time, things like that. And then Season 4, which starts in September, they're like adding like gear collections and things like that, weapon slot changes, which it sounds like they're maybe taking their like heavy weapon slot. They're maybe bringing that back. We'll see.
Speaking of seasons, did you play the new Overwatch?
I haven't yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
I played a lot of Brigitte the week before I went to PAX. She continues to be excellent.
Bridget, but it's Brigitte. I've heard it's
right.
Vegeta with a B.
It's everybody's got their own. Bridget seems to be the most common one I've heard.
Because I don't know, because that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Like, where's the? Never mind.
Brigitte, I think is.
Yeah, I
also
think it's.
accessible.
I think that is correct. What you just said. I've heard Vegeta.
I've heard
with a B.
Brigitte. That's the one I've been leaning on the most. But,
She seems cool.
she's really cool. Very,
As
very
someone who hasn't touched Overwatch since Sombra.
I'll say
Anna?
this. Walking around PAX, I really like Overwatch. I really like Overwatch cosplay as well. Saw a dude dressed as Soldier 76 in his fucking grilling outfit, and I got really excited.
I mean, yeah, their costumes are great.
Yeah. And the only other piece of news is fucking Microsoft out here making moves again. They're like, all right, we know we've been slacking on that Xbox One, Xbox original backwards compatibility. Here's fucking 19 more of those. Most importantly, they're bringing Conquer Live and Reloaded.
Conker's Splinter Cell Chaos Series? Yeah? No.
That's not on the list.
Well, they screwed up.
They are bringing, so it's 2 waves, one on the 17th of April, the next on the 26th of April. Blink's coming back. Conquer coming back. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind coming back. Jade Empire, you've been waiting for this moment your whole life, we know. And Panzer Dragoon, we got you covered. That's all on the 17th, and some more on there as well. 26th of April, a bunch of fucking Star Wars games. Another fucking Panzer game, Panzer Elite Action. Full Spectrum Warrior, Mercenaries, the first one, and Destroy All Humans. It's a pretty good list.
I love Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, I like that. I think I played the second one. I like the first 2 of those games. They're silly and fun.
Was there ever a third?
There was like 4 of those games, I think.
Really?
There's at least 3. I don't know if there was for sure a 4th. But they're also, like you mentioned earlier, now pushing more Xbox 360 backwards compatible games with 4K enhancements or Xbox One X enhancements. Not just Red Dead, but Gears of War 2, Portal 2, and Sonic Generations as well.
Good reason to buy Portal 2 again and play that game.
Yeah. And keep in mind, like, if you have an Xbox One X, you can optimize visuals and upscale everything to 4K, or you can optimize performance and have it run at a better frame rate.
No game has really took advantage of that yet, but like it'll happen eventually.
Witcher 2, you can run at 60 frames, which I think is cool.
Is that the only one?
That I don't know if that's the only one. That's the only one I've checked out. So
Okay.
But I it's cool, them just being really aggressive with all these services and whatnot.
Like I'm pretty sure, probably with Oblivion probably when Oblivion gets patched with that, I think that will be the one that will like really take advantage of the performance.
I'd be curious to see if Morrowind gets something like that, or if they do anything like that for any of the Xbox original games. I've never played Morrowind. This has like me a little curious to dip my toe, but
That's I believe not her favorite game of all time, but like it's up there for Katie. Like she loves fucking Morrowind. Definitely her favorite Elder Scrolls game for sure.
It's Jared's favorite Elder Scrolls game. I know that much. I know nothing about Morrowind. I just know it's like that's an island in the Elder Scrolls universe. Is Morrowind. But
There were 4 Destroy All Human games.
there you go. My stab in the
1
dark
and
got
2,
this.
and 2 spin-offs. One of them exclusively on the Wii, and one of them exclusively on 360 in North America.
Boyo. So I don't know. Xbox is doing some cool stuff still, and they announced all of this during their second episode of their like Inside Xbox show. So I think that's cool that they're making moves and doing stuff with that. So.
Solid Snake speaking the truth in the chat right now.
Let's see. They really need to add Tales of Vesperia as an Xbox 360 backwards compatible tile. Scott, I agree with you deeply and personally. Literally the only reason I still have my 360 is because of this fucking game. And I'm like, ready. Let's just get rid of it. I'm done. I have Tales of Vesperia digitally. I'm literally ready to just download it to my Xbox One.
I do too.
And move on with my life. And I'll probably play that game as soon as it comes out on Xbox One as well. It will. I'm confident that it will happen. Is the thing. Xbox has been too good about it.
They've been too generous almost.
Yeah.
It feels real good. It feels
like they fucking brought Darksiders backwards compatible with like Xbox One X enhancements. I think. It's
the number one game you really didn't need to do that to, and they did it anyway.
And it's like, you know, they remastered this for Xbox One, right? It's like, oh, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're doing it all. Fuck with me, fam. Let's go. That's it for news. Unless anybody has anything else. Spider-Man looks real good.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at with that, Nobushin? You excited for Spider-Man?
Media blackout.
Okay.
Like that's weird. Like it's God of War, Spider-Man, and Infinity War, the things I have media blackout. But like, you know, you put out Kingdom Hearts trailer, I like give it to me. I don't give a shit. Like I'll eat that up.
Here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts.
They just revealed that one of the pre-order bonus suits for Spider-Man is his Infinity War suit from the movie, the Iron Spider. It looks real good.
It looks real good. The thing about Kingdom Hearts though that's nice is like no matter how many trailers you see that game, you're still not gonna understand what the fuck's happening.
Yeah, I know. That's the benefit of that, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
I know everything going on. Definitely not confused at all.
Who is Roxas and what Keyblade does he have?
Like apparently God of War's been really, really good as far as like
he
not
has
exposed to
2
too much of that game.
keyblades.
Yeah,
He has 2 keyblades. Thank you very much.
you're right. My
Oblivion and Oathkeeper, and Roxas is the nobody formed from Sora's heart. When
Actually,
he turned into a Heartless at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. But Roxas looks like Vanitas. No,
You know
Ventus.
what?
Vanitas is the
Wow,
enemy that looks like
you
Sora.
fucked up. You know what? Roxas fucks. Also,
You see those bracelets he got?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
People
He looks-
love
he looks
Roxas. Like,
dude, people love Roxas.
fucking
It's scary.
Love him, dude.
It's really scary. Like I like Roxas a whole lot. I think he's a great character.
Exactly.
And it's like, but like people are like on Team Roxas, like way.
Dude, when you go to that orchestra, if you go to it this year, like when they bring up something about Roxas,
People lose their fucking minds.
lose their fucking mind. It is insane.
Yeah, I mean he's probably like he's top 3 for me. But like I don't know, man. I don't roll deep with Roxas. Like
Roxas isn't even that high up for me.
really, yeah. I mean I don't
Like
know.
in like the pantheon of characters, Roxas isn't, high up there for me.
I get you. There's a lot of characters. A lot of
By the way, you never asked your arbitrary Kingdom Hearts bullshit question, Alex.
What What would that be?
2018.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The answer is
Max.
yes.
All right, my man. No, really. I need to know. Are you a true believer, Max? Kingdom Hearts 3 is releasing in the year of our Lord 2018.
The answer is yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Especially with this sweet press event getting ready to come up. I got
What
this
is this
tweet.
press event? I need to know about
Dude,
it.
okay, there's some episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. It's in my mentions on Twitter. Basically, like within the first 2 minutes, Tim confirms that he is one of the first people to play He will be one of the first people to play Kingdom Hearts 3. He's not allowed to say when or where, but he's allowed to say he's going to be playing it. Which I assume if they're inviting people out to play it means it's relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some event coming up soon-ish.
Interesting.
I got a tweet for you later. It's
Okay,
gonna be a treat.
run it by
I
me.
got a Kingdom Hearts tweet.
Can I say a fear that I kind of have?
Yeah,
Um,
that game's gonna be bad because literally I fucking go to sleep every night thinking about that.
not really bad, but like I honestly fear that like they're gonna do like a whole like Final Fantasy 15-esque like event for that again. Like they kind of did the same thing for that for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is great and shows like what that game is. But like I kind of don't want that.
Yeah,
But
that's
see-
the thing that we kind of just can't watch.
Yeah.
If they do that though, that means what I said earlier about there being 2 special editions
Oh my God.
will most likely be true. I'm okay with that.
I mean, like, I don't need Dan Castellaneta to come on stage like, hey, I'm the voice of Genie in this
Like,
game.
hey guys, let me tell you about Kingdom of Hearts. Fucking like James Woods on Twitter,
I
like
know.
out here dropping lines.
Can they get Greg and Tim to host it again?
They can get Tim. I feel like Greg would be like, no, fuck this weeb shit.
But it could be the same premise again.
I will call
A hardcore fan of Kingdom Hearts, and then someone who doesn't know anything about Kingdom Hearts.
If
Fucking
this hap-
Alexa on that damn stage.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense to have anyone else. She literally wrote the book on Kingdom Hearts. Like, what the fuck are you doing? No, I would, if that happens, if Square Enix was like, hey, you guys did this for us again, let's do this, I would call in the biggest favor of my life to get on that stage. Like, no, there's no way you fucking you do a full unveil of Kingdom Hearts 3 without me. I'll kill somebody to get there.
I'm gonna find this tweet if it kills me.
If you would like to have your questions read on the show, you can tweet them at IrrationalPod with hashtag IPQ. We also take emails, mailsack@irrationalpod.com, and voicemails, 404-590-1337. All of which will lead you right to the mail sack, which is what we're in right now. We got a tweet from Logan Moore at Moorman12, MOORE man 12. He says he didn't know about this. I'm like, you don't even know how to use this hashtag. We got a tweet from that Mario Rivera at that Mario Rivera, all one word. He says, ask him if his podcast retirement is over. I assume by him he means you, Max. Max, is your podcast retirement over?
No,
Great. I pulled you out of retirement for one last job. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much. I think I get out and then they pull me back in.
Michael Ruiz at super_rooz ROOZ. I feel like you know these people. I don't know why.
Because
just
it's Michael, Mario, and Logan.
I know. He says just say beneath the pixel.
It's behind the pixel. It's the name of the show. Don't worry about
I
it.
understand. Like, are you behind it or are you under it?
Behind it. It's like peeking behind. the
Now,
curtain.
are you sure this is a trick
My
question?
God, you guys have
Because like you could be inside of each other.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about being inside the pixel? Why did I ever agree to do this shit? Scott
quit.
White at Solid Snake 120 on Twitter, a good friend, writer of IrrationalPod.com, says, would your opinion of Survive be different had it been released as an expansion to Metal Gear Solid 5?
Probably.
I'm asking you, Max. You're the only one of us that played it.
Like an expansion.
Yeah.
There is. So there's actually 2 endings,
Whoa.
and the alternate / bad ending actually ties into a side mission in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Wow.
If you think abstractly enough.
Very loose definitions here. We're just
to provide more clarity, if you remember in Metal Gear Solid 5, there's a couple of side missions where there's like a wandering soldier in the desert.
Yeah.
That is from
Oh, those.
Oh
Mother
god.
Base. Okay, wandering around in the desert from like 9 years ago. Oh, go save him. Okay, there's the alternate ending. Metal Gear Solid Survive is you ditch everyone that you've saved, jump through the wormhole yourself, and leave everyone to die to the Lord of Dust. And it shows your character walking in the desert. So presumably, you have ended up in the desert of Afghanistan. You are going crazy, and because of the wormhole, you've time traveled 9 years into the future. And then boss tries to save you.
Got it. Okay.
So that's how they're tied together. So insanely loose. And the only way they tie together is if you're the bad guy. And you leave everyone to die.
Is the Lord of
So that's the true ending.
So, yeah,
Yeah, the true ending.
Is the Lord of Dust spoopy at all? Is he big and he stomp around? Is he scary?
He's big and stomps around. He's slow.
Can you like interact with him while you're in the field?
No.
Is he like far off in the distance behind an invisible
He
wall?
only shows up during story missions.
But like,
you do not see him out in the world at all.
oh, it seems like a missed opportunity.
There are a lot of missed opportunities in this game.
Would you like it more, or would your opinion have been different if it was an expansion of Metal Gear Solid 5? Stop avoiding the fucking question, Max.
No.
Feels like it. Feels like it.
No, it wouldn't, because it's still without Kojima.
Would you have liked it more if you didn't have to write a guide for it?
If I didn't have to write a guide for it, I wouldn't have played it. So yes.
Fair enough.
No, that game is bad no matter what. I was talking to Logan earlier about games that captivated our attention so far this year. I said I did the guide for Celeste as well, and I said that game still would have got my attention if I didn't have to work on it. So
That
like,
game's rad.
Usually, like I don't think a guide working on it impacts my actual opinion or take on the game. I certainly do usually see more of the game when I work on it. Survive has been the only instance where I've been like, please let it end.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. Now we know. That's all the questions we got. That's the show. Before we get to bets, real quick, if you'd like to be a part of the show, remember, tweet your questions, email your questions, call in your questions. At IrrationalPod, hashtag IPQ, mailsack at IrrationalPod.com, and the voicemail line is 445901337. If you like the show, follow it on Twitter at IrrationalPod. You get updates on when we're live, when we post stuff, and etc. When we do videos, Mike's doing a bunch of really cool videos. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Go check out Inputs, a video games news show on our site, and get acquainted. Update on the second episode, which is coming out sometime this month, hopefully. Progress is being made. That's really all I want to say right now. There's been some hiccups along guest number 2 spot, but progress has been made. So hopefully that'll be out within the next 2 weeks is my goal, but it could be out as late as the very end of this month, so, or possibly early next month, but we'll see. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, including a whole bunch of very, very cool PAX East 2018 writing and video and podcasts, IrrationalPassions.com is the place to go. Max, were you here? You were here for bets. You've done bets before.
Yes. Semi-confident in this.
I've got great news because now it's time for bets.
Bets was a part of 340.
Yes, we have new betting teams since the last time you were on. So basically, it is Nabishin and I versus Scott and Tony. Tony's not here, so you'll be filling in for his spot on Scott's team, which is like the meme team, I believe, is the team name currently. We're waiting on Tony to find out what the hip new meme is, so that they can change their name.
Got it. I think the hit meme right now is that Twitter thing where the stars are coming out.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Is that a meme? Is that a macro image?
I don't know. I just see it everywhere and it bugs me.
This week's bet by our very own Nabishin. God of War releases on April 20th. 420. Blaze it.
Blaze it.
On the IGN video, the first 15, or however long they have, for God of War, when will Kratos have his first kill? So when in the first 15 minutes of God of War will Kratos murk somebody? Ooh, Max, you can't necessarily make this bet. I don't know. Actually, it's for a video, so I think I'll allow it. When in a video of the first 15 minutes of God of War will Kratos murk somebody? This is actually a really good one, option. See, the thing is, like, I don't know anything about how that game actually starts, which is good.
Same.
I'm not necessarily complaining. I just, like, I don't know. And also, like, I don't know who's playing it. Could be Marty Sleva playing the game. Might be playing it. He's a real slow player.
It would. I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was talking about this with Logan earlier, and Logan brought up
Specifically this.
Well, he was talking about the beginning of the game and how the E3 trailer or demo when they were hunting the deer kind of gave him the vibe
Yeah.
of the intro sequence.
Deer counts as a kill, too.
Mm-hmm.
But Atreus is the one shooting the deer, not Kratos.
If he helps his son kill something, does that count, Nabishin?
I would say Kratos his kill.
Okay.
His personal
So that would imply with the axe then, with the Leviathan axe.
or his
It doesn't.
fist.
I wouldn't
Or
say
his
that
fist.
it matters so long as Kratos is the one who kills him.
Yeah, so he could kill it with his bare hands if he wanted to. As
Yeah.
long as he fucking kills that thing.
If his son shoots the deer and the deer's still breathing and stuff like that, and he just like breaks his neck with Kratos breaks his neck with his hands, and that's Kratos.
Or he helps him kill it, like he
I
did.
feel like if Kratos is a like assistant murderer, it counts as
and this
Kratos'
is
kill.
this.
Nah.
Does it have to?
He's got to hit the kill.
He's got a solo kill. It's got to be like last hit.
Not. We're doing last hit here.
Last hit. Got it. Okay.
Last
That's
hit,
important
so
to specify.
Yeah.
If he KS's his son, kill steals that motherfucker right out from under him. That counts, man.
Yep. However,
That does
If he
change my
can't-
bet. So
if-
go ahead, Scott.
Suncast is him.
Oh, that doesn't count. Trey's out there fucking kill stealing like a motherfucker. All right, when you're ready, you can type in your bet and send it in the chat. It's minutes and seconds is how I formatted mine. So
Okay.
that's good.
In
Option.
I know.
the doc chat.
Yeah, in the Google Hangouts on air chat.
Oh, different chat. Oh gosh, gotta switch over there. I'm in a totally different place.
That's all right, man. I see you out there.
I mean, okay, yeah.
All right. Damn. So I bet 11 minutes and 33 seconds. Nabishin bet 420. Which is good. Scott bet 15 minutes and Max bet 15 minutes. Which means if it is 15 minutes, your team
Or the kill doesn't happen.
or the kill doesn't happen within the video, you guys get 2 points. Which
Yep.
is like some collusion type shit.
I just think it tells you that we're on the money.
You guys might have it. I felt like I was going late with 11:33. I appreciate your confidence, Nabishin. Maybe it's like a cold open, fucking axe flies out, hits a bunny in the face. Who knows? So we'll see.
I mean, the game could start with the demonstration of how it's done.
Sure.
Like immediately, 10 seconds in.
Kratos
like-
shoots a fucking rabbit in the face.
Like, however long that video is, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't like not have Kratos doing some gameplay in it. So.
Yeah. I agree with that. Last week's bet, and I abstained from this bet because it was relevant. I had influence on it. How many total published pieces will Irrational Passions post over PAX East weekend. Now, so this was Thursday to Sunday. Specifically, I'm gonna let y'all know it was a lot. Nabishan bet 20. Scott bet 8. Tony also not here. He fucking hates us.
Even it out.
So let's see. It actually might be like dead center. So let me see. Boy, God, there's a lot. So the starting
8 would be bare minimum. So
yeah. So and I think I said I gave you guys a little bit of info. So 1, that's 12 per page. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pieces over the weekend.
no, Robertson's way closer.
Yeah, very very close though. Which brings our team totals. Obviously, you won the bet, so you've won Danny Warris's love and affection until next week, and we will get to your final word in just a moment. Team totals: Team Nanashi in the lead with 8 points, and the meme squad, dirty, filthy meme squad of Stardust or whatever, still rocking hard at 4 points. Although y'all might get double. This next one. Be connect. Nabishan, if you have anything you want to reiterate, disagree with without interruption, this is your final word of the show. What do you want to say?
Hey guys, Brian Nabishan Jackson here. Just letting you know, Mass Effect's a great trilogy. You should give it a shot. It's one of the best trilogies in video games ever made. I implore you.
And it's a definitely trilogy.
Scott, let him say his piece.
And I implore you, if you have the means to, you should check it out. It's really good. Really, really good. There's ups, there's downs, but like the connections that you have and the feelings that you have throughout the series is something no other game I felt can really capture other than Witcher 3. But like, yeah, that's my opinion.
Rad. That's it. That's the show. Max, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
I guess you don't fucking do anything fun on the internet anymore, so you don't have anything.
You can follow me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, at Max the White.
Yeah, I do. I'll tweet about any guides I ever do.
It's all about race with you, huh? You really just set me up for these ones.
It's a Lord of the Rings reference.
I know. You said this last time you were on.
I just like sometimes I think about changing it, but all the ones I'd change it to are already taken. I give up.
Why not just go in Max the Gray?
Because that's not as cool as Max the White. Because Gandalf's
he shows up in fucking blah blah blah. And
he's cooler when
But
he's Gandalf
without-
the White.
Without Max the White, they shall pass.
it's true. What if you wanted to pass, man? I'm sorry, I'm making it conflicting for you, Max. Thank you for coming on, Max.
Thank
we love
you for having me.
You're welcome anytime. Even if you don't podcast anymore. Glad I could bring you out of retirement for a nice 3-hour-long show.
It is. We just crossed the 3-hour mark.
Yeah.
Good God.
I promised you.
Alex O'Neill podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm never prepared for them.
Hey, it's not midnight yet, so we're doing all right. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Danny Wiesner, for opening music of Two Player Co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you everybody who came out, said hello, PAX, or read any of our PAX stuff, and everyone for being super cool and super supportive. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you to the writers for all their hard work that they put into that as well. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabishan, for joining me. As always, I love you, boys. Big hugs all the way around. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your game. Stay irrational. We'll talk to you all next week. Max, what I want you to do is continue to record your audio.
It's still rolling.
Because we got some shit we got to clear up. It's titles time. Scott.
Oh. I forgot you guys did this during the show.
Yeah, man. I got to cut it and put it at the beginning.
Well, I cracked up. Oh, that's right. You have us read it or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm supposed to do it.
I would have Scott do it.
Well, hold on.
I'll hold in.
I'll pull
All
it
right,
back up.
titles.
Titles.
Was the sax good for you? I believe the term is a cougar. I'm just gonna start that one over. I believe the term is a cougar. Did you save the fish? I saved the fish. Okay,
fucking
well,
fish,
no,
man.
no, I do the opposite.
You
of
would have
saving
killed
the
that
fish.
fucking fish.
I was talking about my job, but yeah, probably.
True, yeah.
Steel books. That weird tomb were on your shelf.
Accurate.
Slashy cat boy. I could not.
I could not.
Do you want me to do this one, Scott? This next one?
Yeah, I forget how to pronounce it already.
Calliope!
Huber.
Gets what he wants.
Yes.
Mhm.
Got
War has changed. Max has changed. Vegeta with a B? What?
it. Brigitte? Brigitte?
Brigida.
Brigitte?
Bridget.
Bridget.
Roll deep with Roxas?
That's just a really good series.
It's
of
all
words.
about race with you, Max. You and your fucking Mario Kart.
Yeah. That's actually really true.
I'll come school you anytime in Mario Kart.
Listen, motherfucker. You want to play some Bob on Blast and see
No.
who's going to get fucking
No.
schooled?
No.
That's right. You live in Fury, you motherfucker. Max, what do you want to be the title of this podcast?
I forgot that you wrote them during the show.
It's a
And
good
like,
bit.
so I started reading them in the middle, and I kind of started cracking up. I think the funniest one. I think War's changed, Max has changed, not only because Metal Gear's depressing.
But also the whole podcasting thing.
The whole podcast thing, I think it
It's
makes
good. It's multi-layered. I like
Yeah.
that.
But was the sax good for you, or I believe the term is a cougar, are both very funny.
Was the sax good for you? Is really good.
Like it's
It's very good.
uh
Namishin, what do you like, man?
Sax.
Same. Me too, bro. Namishin, or not Namishin, Scott, what do you like?
We're gonna go with sax.
I like the sax too. Although I do really like Calliope. I just want to like put it out there. I like just anytime Kratos is angry and yelling something and people are making fun of that.
she in God of War 1 and 2, they don't have a name. His wife and daughter are just Kratos' wife and daughter.
What are their names that you find out in God of War fucking 3?
You in God of War 3, his wife's name is never mentioned. And Calliope is just dropped, like you're just supposed to know. I believe Calliope's name was revealed in Chains of Olympus,
Chains of Olympus.
the PSP game.
Hey, man, God, what a mess. Imagine walking around with your kid's ashes in you.
Embedded in your skin.
I'll say the title. Max, do you know the little preamble I'd like you to say? Yeah, I can write it down for you.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
Three series. I was gonna put a question mark after that. I was like, is that the right number? Whenever you are ready.
So I'm saying what you just wrote, and then
Yeah.
was the sax good for you, or
No,
not?
I'm saying was the sax good for you? You're saying what I just wrote.
Got it.
Makes
Easy
sense?
peasy. Yes, makes sense. You're listening to Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 374.
Was the sax good for you?
Yes.
There's a wink just for you too. That's it. You can stop recording now.
All right, let's hit that stop button.
Thank you everybody for watching. We love you all. Have a good night.